We'll be live in like 7 seconds.
7 seconds?
7 seconds away.
Yeah, it is.
Just as long as I stay,
I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting. It's just
So
a
go on,
second.
sing the French bit then.
It's just a second.
Alouette, gentil alouette, alouette, je te plumerai. You already sang that part. The older they get, the cuter they ain't.
Can't find the lyrics to it. Is that it?
Shall we start?
It's Eagle Eye Cherry and Nina Cherry. That's who you're looking for. The double cherry.
It's not Eagle Eye Cherry. It's Nina Cherry and Yuzu
Oh no, it isn't.
Nador.
That's right. You're right. It is. Yeah, Eagle Eye did Save Tonight, didn't he? That's what he did.
Yeah. Shall we start the show?
Yeah, instead
I
of
think we
talking about
should.
very old pop stars.
Shall we start it?
Start the
I
show.
guess we should.
Yes.
Should start the show.
Let's start it.
Let's start the show.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
We want Chili Willy.
Crowd's getting
We want
restless.
Chili Willy.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stew story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Oh, I get it. I get jokes.
It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, boy.
There's nary an animal alive that can outrun a grease
Switch
Scotsman.
that console off before you have to press repeat, y'all.
There you go. I'm not gonna get interrupted by stupid sound effects.
Hello and welcome to episode 758 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 758, baby. What? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And I have moved my camera so that it's now a little further away. You don't have to stare right up my nose. And Chinny's not sure if he likes it or not. You can see this hallway behind me. Is usually the Duchess coming
No,
through
I
there.
don't-
I have to have a mirror here to see behind me because I don't want to get caught unawares.
Doing what?
Yeah. Yeah, doing what? What
Just
you doing?
getting a serial killer sneaking up with a knife or something.
Okay.
Or writing a sweet note to my wife.
Sweet
Yeah.
note,
Seeing
are
that
you?
shit until I'm ready to show it to her. Like I
okay.
get weird when people. Anyway, we're not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Yeah. We stream. We stream on the internet.
We stream. We're on the internet. We're cool guys. We talk about video games, and we also like to talk sometimes about England coming in second place.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
did.
fancy word for losing.
Now, you see, we don't say that in the UK. In the UK, the runners up. The runners up.
Runners up, sure.
Runners
Silver
up.
medal.
No, in the UK we say
Right.
they're shit.
Fucking shite
They're
is what they
shit.
are.
They came in second out of 24 teams, but garbage.
Yeah, they were garbage, though, dude. You see, what you
They
don't
weren't
understand...
garbage.
No. What you don't understand in football terms, they were garbage. That is the trouble.
I don't get it. I mean, any team I would be a part of would not come near the final of the Euro Cup.
Yeah, well, they only
I feel like they
lads,
deserve some credit for
They
that.
only just came near the final. They
You
were.
said that they only scored a goal in the final because of luck, that they only just got to the final. I'd like to see you get out there on the
They
pitch
were
and do
honestly,
something.
they were shocking. They barely played as a team. Harry Kane, I don't know why he bothered turning up. Best striker in the country, apparently not. It was just shocking.
Is it possible he had a bad game?
I know he had a lot of bad games. He barely did anything the whole tournament, and it was
don't know what to tell you.
they were boring. Right, Gareth Southgate does boring football. I mean, he's just boring. He's like
Jenny,
super,
were you bored by
super
it?
defensive,
I watched the
not attacking.
I watched the second half, and honestly, I still think they can win.
It's a little late now.
Good.
Well, yeah, but someone said to me, "Oh, that's impossible." You know, I'm like, nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible.
I got into this with someone on Reddit. They were like, you could do anything. You don't need the easy mod on Elden Ring. You just believe in yourself. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm going to join NASA. I don't care because they've rejected me 70 times. The 71st one is shut the fuck out of my face with that shit. Nothing's
Yeah.
impossible. You can do anything you put your mind to. No,
No.
stop it.
No, what you've got to understand is, Duke, it's how you get there, right? Spain
Okay.
thrashed everybody on the way to the final. England just scraped through every match to get there.
Hey, that's horseshoes and hand grenades, man. It's either a 1 or a 0. They made it, right? They won each game along the way.
No, they
That
didn't.
counts for something.
They only won games
Okay,
in the
fine, they
knockout. They
didn't.
won one game in the group stages, and then they had to obviously win in the knockout part. But they
Okay.
went behind in every
Well.
game, and then managed to scrape. One of them was a goal which they scraped on the something like the 89th minute or something. That honestly,
Okay, first of all, I don't actually even care about any of this. I just think those of us who are not in the arena have to give credit to the people who are in the arena for doing the work to make the thing happen. And I'll say this from my Rocket League experience. I say this all the time when I'm playing the league, the Rock League, as we call it. Everybody gets lucky sometimes, but you got to have skill to capitalize on luck. So
do you know what?
know.
Do you know what though? To give
What?
to give Gareth Southgate his due as a manager, right?
yes, and you better.
He did do something. He did do something. And what he did was make some of the best players in the world look fucking ordinary. That's what he did.
Yeah,
That's what he did. Made him
I'm
look
a fond of-
boring.
I'm fond of Gary Slappygate, so I don't want to be too hard on him, but.
So there you
Anyway,
go.
that's a soccer thing. Football, it happened. That's why we're recording tonight. That's why we're live on Monday instead of Sunday. But don't you worry, people. We're going to have all the usual bollocks and fun discussions of video games. The latest games. I've actually played a game that just came out this week. Some people know what it is, and you're real
Yeah, we
eager to
do.
hear me talk about it.
Yeah, we are.
But first, perhaps somebody has a story time.
Oh God.
No.
Maybe.
Story time, fuck yeah. Coming again to tell a motherfucking story about your lives that's not gaming related.
Go ahead.
Go
Who's
on.
got something?
I've got nothing this week. I was on a holiday, and the weather was shit, a bit like the England football team. So that's my story. Fucking on holiday, and it was shite.
The joy, the excitement, the happiness.
You know what the most depressing thing is, though? Right, this week-
Depressing. You had some bad weather and your team
No.
lost in a game.
No, the
What's
most depressing thing. The most
the fact that
depressing
Donald
thing.
Trump got shot, or the fact that he got his case thrown out for stealing classified documents.
No, the most depressing thing is this, Duke. Right?
Go ahead.
We
Children
have-
killed in Gaza.
No, on Monday we
Oh,
had
no.
one nice day of weather, right? Sunny day. And because I'm fucking British, I decided
Yes.
to. Well, Kay decided, and I had to go along with it. But Kay decided we had to clear out the shed, which
Yeah.
took all day and 4 trips to the tip. And then the
Right.
rest of the week, it pissed it down. So the one nice day when we actually could have done something nice, we were in a fucking sweaty, horrible shed full of spiders that stank like a rabbit hutch. So there you go.
It sounds like you picked the wrong place to go on holiday. It's nothing to do with.
It's
I mean,
just like
It does
fuck,
not sound pleasant.
Is
don't
this
get me wrong.
my
I'm sorry
life
you
now?
had-
Is this my
Right.
life?
Yeah,
I had a
hey,
faith-
I'm with you.
Oh,
We've had a lot of rain here too, so it's rough all over. I think. Sorry that you had a rough week in terms of the weather. Did you do
Anyway.
anything fun besides kvetch
well,
about
we
the weather?
did. We did. I got.
Oh, go on.
I got a gift. I got a gift. I don't know
Ooh,
whether I
go
can
on.
move my webcam to show you in a second. But
I hope so.
in fact, I'll just bring it in front of the webcam. It's probably easier. Take the
Yeah,
horse
do
to the
it.
water, not the water to the horse,
Sure.
as he said.
Is it a horse?
No, it isn't a horse.
You got a horse?
No.
Wow!
Can we get some
Congratulations
water?
on your horse. Are you
My
going to do
brother-in-law-
dressage?
My brother-in-law, right? We went down to see Kay's sister and brother-in-law on Friday and came back Sunday.
This is the man who said he didn't have
Right.
a story time, by the way.
And he's a bit of an amateur potter. He's a bit of an
potter.
amateur.
Well, he doesn't, but
potter.
he's gonna try.
Is his
Yes,
name?
okay.
Is
Is
his
he
name?
got a lot of hair all over?
Is his name
hasn't.
Harry?
No, it isn't. But he makes a
Get
lot.
it, Harry Potter.
I get you. He makes a lot of shit, right? And I just happened to say, all right, I quite like your little boat over there. And he went, you can have it.
Oh, you're
You
getting
can
that as a
have it.
You can have
yeah.
it. And on the way, when we
Awesome.
came to go home, he'd already put it in the bag to give me. You know, he's like,
Wow.
here it
Yeah.
is. Oh, you wanted
That's,
it.
you're taking this.
actually-
I don't want to hear
you
your
know
shit.
what? I actually really like it because it reminds me.
Let's see
of
it. Hold it
of
up.
a
Where is
certain
it?
Video game. Here we go. Just a minute.
Shout out to Red Van
Certain
Man in the
video
chat. Red Van Man, hello.
Look.
Oh, Red
Oh.
Red Red. Okay.
Look.
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh.
nice.
Right. And
Yeah, don't drop it.
look, it's got a
It looks
skull.
like something
It's
out
got
of
a
Far
skull.
Harbor.
Skull for its
Oh,
figurehead.
is this Drywood 3-bush?
Yeah, brush fishing. No, it doesn't remind me of that. It doesn't remind me. No, it's got a little anchor.
No, it
Okay.
reminds you of that
Is this from
stupid...
Dredge?
No, yeah,
It
Dredge.
reminds me of
yeah.
Dredge. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like,
What now?
it's a little boat that reminds me of
Yeah,
Dredge.
you
I'm
should
like,
you should have him add something, or you could add something that's specific to Dredge. You know what I mean? Like, is there some part of a ship
look, it's
that's
even
like,
got, look, it's got a little life ring on top. It's got a little life ring.
yeah,
It's so
You're all
cool.
set to not
It's so
die
cool.
if it
Look,
goes
it's cool.
down.
It's got a
Yeah,
little life ring
look,
to it.
audio listeners, look.
I'm
Hey,
describing
they get to
it.
look at my hallway and Stu's little
describing it.
boat toy. What
Now
are they
look.
looking at in your house, Chinny?
What
I've got-
makes it super
well, I've got my
good, it's
penis
actually
out.
heavier than it
Hold up
looks.
something.
I got my
Look,
penis
we have
out.
signed
No,
it,
no
just
one
a
said
minute.
anything.
There is
He
a
does have his
signature on
penis. I
here
should have. I mean, I
somewhere,
assume
don't know.
everyone
yeah,
assumes that.
That's his signature. That's his little signature.
Oh, nice.
A little cat face. He does a little cat face on it
Yeah.
because he has the cat. But right, what's cool? What's cool about
None of it.
this? When I put it on top, I've got it on top of my PC in Pride of Place, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
When the lights are off
Yeah.
here, because it glows red from underneath, it all shines up on the bone. It looks amazing. So
Oh, dude.
I'm putting it back now.
Till it melts.
It's well cool, so I'm very happy with that. It's got Pride of Place next to the Veteran
Yes.
Gamers picture,
Oh.
you know, which is also on top
Sure.
of there, and my little sack boy and stuff that I've got from various. It's amazing. It looks. I'm very happy with it. And Kay was like,
It looks magnificent.
"What the fuck are you bringing home with us?" Was her.
Yeah. A cool boat, a toy boat.
Yeah.
A what?
well,
A
it's
toy
good.
boat. Toy boat. Toy boat. Toy boat. Say that 100 times fast.
It's a piece of art. What are you talking about? It's not a
Yeah.
toy. It's not a toy. Dude.
Right.
It's art.
Okay, Chinny, do you have anything?
No.
Any Rosa updates? She's still very cute.
Still cute.
She turned 9 months recently. Is that right?
9 months, yeah.
I see that on the ground.
Has she started
Yeah.
rolling left? Is what I want to know.
She can roll fucking anyway now. She can
Really? She got both ways going now.
Left,
Yeah.
right,
Going on.
forward,
Well,
back.
if she-
Up.
She's-
I don't know how she rolls up, but she does it.
She's rolling up.
Does she, so when she bumps into somebody, does she just roll the other way?
No,
now?
well, she can sit up now on her own.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So she's worked out a way to sort
Here
of sit up.
comes.
You just wait till she's walking, then you'll be sorry.
She's trying to crawl. She's
Yeah.
getting better. I reckon another week and she'll crawl. But yeah, she's getting
Yeah,
there.
you'll be
Alright.
sorry then when she can get into shit on her own without your help.
She seems to get better
Yay,
at crawling
Rosa growing
when
up.
she sees my phone within grasp, and she's like,
Oh
"Ah,
yeah, she does.
I can have a go."
This is the world.
Why is he
Must-
mesmerized by it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, I've got something that's related to gaming and also nerd reading.
What you been reading?
What
you been reading?
Yeah.
What you been reading?
So, fans of the show know I've been reading this book called Critical Hits. It's hard to show it up and down, but anyway, writers playing video games. It's a really good book, and the essay I just got done reading had to do with this Learning Games Initiative Research Archive, which is known as Lagira, which is an epic and open-ended video game library at the University of Arizona. And here's what they say about the question of protecting games from degrading, right? In other words, you have old games, they're on floppy disks, they're on cartridges. One school of thought is don't let anyone near them because you want to preserve them as long as possible, right? But they actually have a different opinion. They said this: while we believe that the material preservation of computer gameplay's artifacts is vitally important to the extension of cultural memory, we also believe that it is just as important to facilitate that memory at the levels of experience and experimentation, such unorthodoxies being Lagira's privileging of experiential over artifactual preservation. In other words, they lend out the games even though it's more likely to cause them to break down because they think it's important to let people actually play the games. And I think that's a very interesting concept because a lot of museums are just like, preserve the things, keep the disc, you know, maybe later on we can reproduce this or something. But they say, no, people should be playing these games. And I thought that was very interesting. And I wanted to share it and see what y'all thought.
It's a funny old thing, isn't it? Because ultimately some of these things are valuable, aren't they? They're not. It's not just a case of preserving stuff, but it's worth a lot of money. So there's a monetary
Well,
value.
but a museum's
involved.
not too worried about preserving the money to
Well,
value.
they are, because they often spend a lot of money to get these artifacts into the museum, don't they, in the first place?
Yeah, but it's in order to let the public see them and experience them. They're not trying to profit.
but they're not expecting those artifacts to degrade, are they? In the same
Well,
way.
this library is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. In the
I mean,
same
most
way a video
libraries,
game
yeah, most libraries are not. I mean, they're trying to do everything to keep it from degrading, and rightly so. I mean, a painting, you know, okay, right. And it's one of the things that makes a video game different from a painting. You can't just watch a footage of a video game and have the same experience as someone playing it. So it raises the question, like, what does a video game museum look like? And I think we're entering a new phase of museum curation, and it'll be interesting to see
it's
what
like an
happens with that.
interactive museum, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than being just totally look at this thing.
Yeah, suddenly in the chat, people are talking about karaoke, and we're not a karaoke show, people. That's nothing to do with what we are.
Well, it's because we mentioned Eagle Eye Cherry Save Tonight, and you know, our friend of the show is just saying that's his go-to karaoke song.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I didn't make the connection, but anyway, all right. Any other story times? We ready to talk about games?
No, I think we're ready. Unless Chinny's got anything.
Where are you
got
going?
anything,
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
All right. So who's starting?
I don't know. I think we should just get into it because I know you're dying to talk about it.
Oh, baby.
Let's let you have your moment in the spotlight.
So for those who don't know, I've been very excited for over a month now about the impending release of a game called Once Human. And it's a free-to-play game from a Chinese developer whose name I can't remember right now. There are some people review bombing because they're convinced that there's spyware, and it's like, it's not. It's so ridiculous that people are just being so weird. Anyway, it's a open world. As I said when I played the demo about a month ago, they've done finally a sensible, interesting fusion of open world survival, building, crafting, and an RPG. Because Rust has been the go-to for a long time, the gold standard of crafting and survival, but it's all PvP. And, you know, some servers have PvE content, but there's no quests, there's no actual RPG content. There are RPGs, which are great, but they don't have any meaningful building or anything like that. Once Human fuses them together, and it's freaking glorious. I am enjoying this so much. Like, I can't stop playing it.
I'm assuming, can I just say, I'm assuming you're just playing PvE on a PvE.
I am playing PvE, and when you start it, you are asked to join one server or another. They've got some servers that are PvE and some that are PvP focused. Now, presumably, the PvP focused ones still have PvE areas or content, but anyway, this game is just ticking all my boxes. There's monsters that you gotta go kill. There's loot crates everywhere, but it's, you know, you got special kinds of loot crates. So right now on the screen, you can see, this is me playing it. You see my ugly face there at the bottom. And shout out to everybody who came by to say what's up. There's these areas you go to, and it has these objectives in the little area, right? And these aren't like quests or anything. This is just like you go to this area and suddenly these objectives pop up. And they are always the same. Get weapon crates, get the mystical crate, which is usually very hard to reach, kill an elite enemy, kill 15 regular enemies, and activate the little beacon thing. There's a beacon thing, you just passed it on the left there, the purple light shining out of it. Anyway, I'm just having so much fun going and clearing these areas and then doing quests and crafting. And it's that thing of like, you always want the next tier of gear and guns and armor. And I was playing it for like, you know, it actually dropped at 4 p.m. Actually, it dropped at 3:30 because they were like, surprise, we're dropping it a half hour early. And I was like, because I had the page pulled up on Steam and I was like reloading it every once in a while. It's ridiculous. But I can't remember last time I was this excited about a game. So I played it for like 10 hours and I was like, you know, I want to give these people some money. Not because I really want any of the, you know, decorative stuff, but I just want them to know how much I appreciate this awesome game. So I went looking at what I could buy, and right now the shop is actually pretty, it's only maybe like 10 or 15 things you can buy in the shop. There's this weird like Western outfit you could buy. There's this, like, I don't know, there's some really stupid cosmetic things. But then I saw there was like sale, there's a tab for like sale items. And one item is like a suit, like a business suit. And my character looks dope in it. So, and it was only $1. I was like, well, shit, I'd buy that for $1. And I did.
And you did.
And I did. So now my character has this dope suit on. She's got these fly boots that I've crafted. She's got awesome guns. I'm just,
I
it's
see
so
what I want to know.
satisfying.
I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at it.
Yes.
And it looks pretty good. But what the hell are you fighting? Are these zombies? There's a guy with a light on his head. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is they're kind of Lovecraftian. They're zombies. They're the guys with the lights on there. It's like studio lights, and so they'll blind you. And there's like tree monsters, in different areas you go to. And the monsters are a little samey, but they do they keep throwing in different kinds of monsters. So you go to this one area and there's these like dog-like creatures, but they have this like a biohazard, the things that are sometimes draped across areas to be like, don't go in here, it's a biohazard. It had that for like a cape or something. So it's this, all you see is this little yellow flag rustling around, and you get near it and you realize, oh my god, this is a monster, and he starts attacking you. There are like spider things that crawl at you. You got to stomp on them if you can't shoot them fast enough. There's like flying poison bugs that'll drop poison on you. I told you once upon a time I went to a place where there's this big TV, like an outdoor arena area, and this monster starts climbing out of the TV. He's got like 7 TV heads. There's this bus with legs that comes, like there's some really interesting monsters in this game.
You know what? I wasn't really loving it when you were talking about it. I was looking at it. I was like, well, he's having fun. And then you said bus with legs, and then I sort of like,
yeah, there you go. He's actually that's it. He bought it now.
Yeah,
that got me in.
Yeah. And in the first 24 hours, like, I don't want to say all our games should be made by communists, but in the first 24 hours, they were throwing like crates at us and like, hey, we're sorry that there was a server problem. And, we appreciate you being, day one players and stuff like that. And I don't remember ever getting crates of loot because there was a server problem on New World or any other MMO.
I was going to play this, Duke, to be honest. I thought I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, because there's an issue, isn't there, at launch that was meant to be at launch, but then isn't at launch, and a lot of people are like very annoyed about this.
What's that?
That there's no controller support. So it's purely mouse.
You're cool enough to play on the PC, so who cares?
Well, I was going to play on the Steam Deck because it runs on the Steam Deck, except there's no fucking controller. It's
okay.
But if you make promises, you should fulfill those promises. You go,
look, you know what? This game has made 700 promises and it's kept 699 of them. I don't know what to tell you. They're probably working on it. I have a lot of faith that they're going to have that sorted soon. I want you to play it on the Steam Deck if you really want to play it on the Steam Deck. Fine. Okay, to be honest, like they said, I was on the Discord, like waiting for the game to drop, and they were frequently asked questions, and one of them was like, can I make a new character? And they're like, no, we're going to have multiple characters.
Well, isn't it? There's that as well that everyone's losing the shit over.
Well, let me finish the story, though, because here's what happened. They said, we will have multiple characters available starting in August, but we want everyone to just make their character and make sure you're very, pick your server wisely, because you can't change servers and this and that, and you can't change your character once you get started and all this stuff. And then a day later, they go, guess what? We decided to let you have multiple characters. Bam. And because we know some people wanted to change their character a little bit, here are some tools that you normally have to buy in order to change your appearance. We're just going to give them to you free. And I was like, God damn, that's awesome customer service.
No, do you know what actually happened? That's your take on it. But this is what actually happened. They went, fuck me, we're getting loads of negative press because you can't change your character. And you're stuck to one server and you can't move it between servers. So every time you want to start on a new server, you've got to create a new character, which, you can't link to the same email account that you linked the other one to. So you've got to create a new email.
I don't understand why that's such a big deal.
Because it's a fucking pain in the ass. And they went, better sort that shit out soon. Because I'll tell you what.
They did. The takeaway is they did. Look,
think that they
as somebody
had
who's
to.
played this game for like 24 hours in the last week, I am loving this game. I am loving how
look.
the devs are responding to my
All
perspective
power to
and giving
you.
me exactly what I want. I know there's people out there who are angry about the fact that I can't have 17 characters. Me. To be honest, I don't even care what they have to say because I feel like they play the game for 20 minutes. They're probably bouncing from free game to free game, and they can suck my ass because this game is something different. It's something special. I got 3 pages of notes. And I would love to tell you all about it.
Do you know what else pisses me off, right? You know what else pisses me off?
People commenting about games they haven't played.
No, this is exactly the same as the insurance brokers who go, send you your new quote, which is 600 and odd quid. And then you phone up and go, I've got a better quote than that. Oh, yeah, we can do it for the same price. This is that exact same thing. This is like, oh, we're not going to, we can't launch until August with multiple characters. Everyone fucking goes, well, fuck that shit. I ain't doing it. And then suddenly they can do the following day. That's bullshit. They could always do that. They could have done that day one. They didn't just suddenly fucking invent that overnight, did they?
Well, of course not, but they accelerated
Well, it's
the release of
bullshit.
it.
It's fucking bullshit.
Fine, it's bullshit. Why don't you
pisses me
write them a
off.
letter and complain
It's a
to them?
feat.
Anyway,
That
meanwhile,
could have been on launch day, and they
there-
just chose not to.
anything else you want to complain about with this game?
No,
Stu?
just saying.
Oh, go ahead, say it.
Don't give me no bullshit fucking reasons.
Let it out.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Are you? Great, thanks.
Yeah.
There are some mildly amusing puzzles. So at one point, this guy's like wounded in a base or something. He's in some house, and he goes, "Oh, my girlfriend went to get me some medicine from that hospital. Go help her out. I think I'm worried about her. It's been 2 days." So you go to the hospital, and like you find her like crumpled up in the corner. She's dead. And there's
Oh,
this
God.
note that's like, there's this note that says, "The wheelchair won't let me leave." And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So you go over to this box near her and you click on it, and suddenly it does this thing sometimes. The game will just take you to another dimension. And so suddenly you're in this other world, but it's the same hospital. And like there's this wheelchair that's like, ha ha, you'll never get out. And you're like following the wheelchair around. And then it becomes this Max Payne type thing where you go forward through the doors and you're back in the same hallway you were just in. And it's like, what the fuck? And you're running through all the different doors, and it's basically one room, and you just have to try to get out of the room. And eventually you realize you can look at like a calendar, and it'll say, you know, such and such a date, such and such a month, such and such a year. And eventually you realize that if you go forward, you move the month ahead. If you go backwards, you move the month back. If you go to the right, you move the date ahead. You go to the left, you move the date back. And then you find a note on the nurse's station table that says, this patient is due to be released on like September 3rd or whatever. And you have to
That's my birthday.
advance the date. Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, it's probably not September 3rd. I just pulled that name out of my ear. But anyway,
Yeah, but that's
you
my
have to, you know,
birthday.
figure out. Well, that's great. I'm sure they did it probably to
How did
pay
they know
homage to the great
that-
Mike Chin.
How did
Hey,
they
they
know
must have
that?
known, Mike.
How did they know that?
Well, they were going to make it my birthday, but then they said they couldn't, and so they decided they got a lot of bad press, and they decided
Well, they
to
probably
change
would have
it.
done if he'd have threatened to not stop playing.
Maybe they're fans of 2/3 of this show.
It could be. Anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool puzzle, and you know, sometimes it actually requires you to think about stuff instead of, you know, a lot of games these days is just you're going to get a code and you don't have to keep track of the code, you know what I mean? Like you find this note, you find that note, and it'll put it in for you when you get
Did
to
you
the
did you
spot
figure
to
out-
put the code in.
Did you figure out the calendar thing yourself?
Yeah, I did. Eventually I got out of the hospital and I brought that dude his medicine, and he's like, "Where's my girlfriend?" And I'm like,
Oh, she's dead.
You know, she's dead. She
She's
didn't make
dead.
it. But they had the option. It doesn't seem to do anything, but you do have dialogue options of either like, "I'm afraid she didn't make it," or like, "Anyway, here's the stuff you wanted," you know, to like bypass it.
Think of the excuse that you would have if you didn't deliver it in time. You'd be like, I was in this room, and if I went forward,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
this
There was
calendar.
a wheelchair, you see.
What the fuck? Just say you dropped it or something. Just don't tell me this
And to be
bullshit.
fair, mate, your girlfriend,
Absolutely.
she was pretty ugly.
Yeah, yeah. And she
Yeah.
tried to kill me at one
No
point.
big loss.
There was one quest that could only be done at night.
Oh yeah.
And that's a bit of a pain in the ass because you can't accelerate time. So I got there right as the sun was coming up. And so there's this statue that appears only at night. And so I got there and I could see the statue and I'm like, yes. And as soon as I got to it, the sun finished rising and it vanished. And I was like, God damn it. And then I came back when it was nightfall again, but it wasn't fully night. So, I didn't want to keep running back and forth because there are teleport devices, but they're not you can't just teleport anywhere. You know what I mean? You can teleport to one of the towers and then you have to run or ride your motorcycle to the spot.
So let me ask you this, Duke. How long is a
Yes.
day-night cycle? So how long is like a day-night cycle? in this game?
That's a good question. I don't really track it. Probably 15, 20 minutes, maybe something like that.
It's not
Like,
too terrible then. It's not like
It's not too terrible, but I
Yeah.
was there, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to like go away and come back. So I was just waiting for
Yeah.
I was reading a book and waiting. And I hate having to do that. So that was a little annoying, but
Yeah.
not a big deal.
It's not
Um,
like Deadly Premonition where a day-night cycle lasts about 12 hours.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. There's a horde mode. There is this thing called the resonance refiner where you get this. A lot of the game is like you get this one thing and you can use it for this other thing. So there's like 10 currencies, of course, because it's an MMO. They're trying to make money. But this is the first game with all those different currencies that I've actually tried to figure out what they do because I kind of care. Not really, because, a lot of times it's like, oh, you can get this cosmetic thing or you can get, whatever. But I want
you're
to
invested.
do the
You're
best I
invested,
can.
aren't you?
I'm
You're
invested.
invested in-
Exactly.
you're
It's a
invested.
great
Oh
way
my
to
god,
put it. Definitely
I can
invested.
get gold knee pads.
Oh, I got gold gloves. I already
Wow.
got the gold gloves. I don't care about knee pads, but my gloves are fancy.
Can you
and
get
fresh. Absolutely.
Can you get a cigarette to make you look cool?
Yeah,
You
yeah. I mean,
cannot
look how
get a cigarette to
cool
look cool.
Chinny
Although
looks.
I see Chinny has a fake cigarette.
Do you
trying to
know?
look
Do you
cool.
know what? Do you know what?
Fake.
I've had. Can I just say, Chinny? I've had a huge,
There's no smoke coming out of it. So.
huge flashback looking at you doing that. Massive flashback.
So when we last
To
did
what?
this,
No,
like a week ago.
no.
Well, go on,
Huge flashback
go on.
to when
What's that?
we were playing VR poker, and you
Oh.
always and you were always like pretending to smoke in game, and you know, it's one of the things everyone did. And I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's just like
So,
when we played VR
Tell you what,
poker.
I detest smoking. I really do. I honestly do. I
Yeah,
detest
yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
it does make you look cool. Like
It
that's
does-
like
it does make
Like,
it's a
cool.
fact.
that was one of the main things everybody did in VR poker, was it? Smoke cigarettes,
Yeah.
pipes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's not about my
Crack
smoking
pipes.
habit. It's about
meth.
it's about once a man, whatever this game, once human.
Once a man. Absolutely.
Whoa,
Once you
whoa,
man.
Deck, can I just? Well, I need to stop the show just for a second at this point.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Because Deck said today his wife called him a savage and likened him to a child because he ate 3 slices of processed cheese out of the wrappers by themselves.
Processed cheese.
No, she wasn't right
No.
to say that. What is the difference between that? Just going to put this out there.
Well,
What is the difference between that and a Baby Bell?
well,
It's
baby,
just got a
What's a
different
baby
wrapper.
bell?
it's a
got a
small
different
cheese
wrapper.
in a wax wrapping, but like
Oh, I got you.
um,
But if it's wax, it's more sophisticated because it's
Well, yeah,
presumably
but
not
it's
as
this.
processed.
Essentially, it's the same thing.
well, and also
of
like
course.
one of the perks of being an adult
Yeah,
is that you
you
can
do-
you can do whatever you,
You can
want.
do what the fuck you want.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just do what you want.
I like
It doesn't
whenever
make you a savage, it makes you a child.
Yeah, you don't need permission. He's not a child.
Children eat stuff like this really
Yeah.
unhealthy 3 slices of processed cheese.
Yeah, but it tastes good. It tastes
And I
good.
do that
though,
when
doesn't
I
it?
get, of course it tastes good. I got some Munster cheese recently. As soon as I got home, yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, of course you do.
like one
question is
thing
it
I
unhealthy?
like. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm with Deck. I think Deck's wife is wrong.
say if
in
like
this
like
instance.
teenagers are giving you shit, and you're like, yeah, but I can buy like 50 burgers from McDonald's if I want because I'm an adult.
Yeah, yeah, and I've
I
got
can
enough
do
Six
that.
money
cases
to do
of
that.
beer and 3 guns.
Yeah.
I can
So
do
fuck
that.
you, kids.
I can get a gun.
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
that. I'm an adult. Bye.
What you should have done, Deck, right? This is what you need to do next time: is get some pastrami's, and then wrap the cheese round the pastrami before you eat it.
Yeah. Don't do
And
that.
then when she goes, then when she goes, ooh, you can say, "Look, I'm not eating it on its own this time,"
No.
and she still won't like it. So
No, no.
it's a win-win.
What I've learned is that they won't like anything you do.
Correct.
That's just the way it is. Anyway, Duke.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
just the way
Anyway,
it is.
What-
one
dude,
So
second.
there's a
dude.
horde mode. So you yes,
I don't like the butterfly. What the fuck's the thing?
Yeah,
with
what's the
butterfly?
butterfly for?
the butterfly is the sort of the main point of the game is that you get these, they're called like deviations or something, and you put them in your home in these little tanks, and some of them are crafting little bots, and there's one that'll go out and just get you materials, which is really nice because you come home
Oh, that's
and
nice.
there's copper and iron and steel waiting for you, and it's like, sweet, that's
the
awesome. Thanks, little buddy.
The butterfly, to say it like a Gen Z would, to say it like Millie would, Stu,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I wouldn't
butterfly
really say it.
is giving Hideo Kojima.
Do you know what? I was literally about to say the same thing.
Yeah, but you wasn't
I
going to
was
say
like-
it's giving though.
No, what I was going to say was they went, can't do a baby. What can we put in this tank on his back or her
Well,
back?
it's funny because one of the
Or their
loading
back.
screens when you first start the game is this woman cradling a baby in one of those cradles. It's called a cradle that you have in your backpack.
Okay.
And so anyway, the point is you get these deviations and you it's Pokemon. You put them in these tanks at home and then you can synchronize it to your cradle. So when you're fighting somebody, the butterfly is the best one. I've been playing this for 20 hours. I still use the butterfly because the other ones you get for combat kind of suck. But the butterfly is great. You launch it as soon as you start a fight, against a boss or something. You launch it and it fucking tears the thing up. It's like, yes.
Let me
I
ask
took
you
out,
this.
There were hang on a second. There were people talking about on the chat. There were people like, "Oh, dude, the spider boss is a beast," and everyone's like, "Yeah, I know, right?" And someone was like, "That was the first time I legit thought I need someone else with me." So when I got to the spider boss, I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go!" And then I got it. It was a fucking piece of piss for me. I don't know what I was doing differently. I think I probably had better ammo, better gear. Who knows what? But I was surprised because I thought I was gonna have to die and
Hang
start
on a
over.
sec.
But maybe because I'm awesome
Hang
and I
on a
love this
sec.
game.
Bloody big dick
Who
over here,
knows?
Tenken. Hang on a
Yeah.
minute.
God,
Mr.
you
fucking
If you
God.
have a problem with the spider, you just kind of suck.
Mr. fucking
Do you know what though?
Elden
you know
Ring
what?
is a
I'm-
piece of piss. Hang on.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Let's see what happens there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say though? I'm gonna say this, dude. I can't remember the last time I heard you this excited.
I know.
I know, that's the thing.
I
Is that like
can't-
it's so fun. And look, all the mistakes that maybe they've made and all the weird things about the game, and there are weird things about the game. They're kind of annoying. Like I said, some of the puzzles are stupid.
All the labor
there's a-
laws that they've broken making the game. that'd be-
Yeah, probably enslaved Uyghurs doing the coding. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
It's such a fun game. There is a weird, dumb gear structure because there's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. Okay, so for each gun, you can make like 5 different versions of it. But once you make it, you can mod it, and there are these like weapon mods, there are mods for your armor, and then you can enhance the mod, and then you can also calibrate your weapon. So it's like, why are we going through all these different steps to? I know why. It's because they want you to keep playing. They want you to,
course
find
they
ways.
do.
So, but basically, at this point, I make a weapon, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna calibrate it to hell, so it's as calibrated as it can get. I'll put my best mod on my main gun, and I'm just plowing down enemies. It's so satisfying. And then there's another area to go to once you've once you clear an area, and it takes hours to clear these areas because you could just do the main missions and just pop along and keep it going. But it's so satisfying to clear out the towns and to, gather all the things and to build, different parts of your house and stuff. So
I'll tell you this.
go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I will give you this. I am kind of interested, slightly. I am slightly because it looks batshit crazy. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
watching this gameplay and it looks fucking ridiculous. There's
is.
dudes with
It really
cameras for heads. There's
Yeah, yeah.
spidery, weird-looking fucking things. There's things with sacks on them that you shoot. I don't know.
Totally.
There's a lot going
It's
on.
a lot of fun, man.
There's
Come
a lot
on
going.
over, dude.
But
You'll
what
like
I
it.
want to know this: if you do something cool, does your butterfly do this?
Put its thumb up.
Because that's what the baby does
That's
in
what the
Kojima
baby
games.
does. That's what the baby does.
Where does it put its thumb?
Right in the butt.
It just gives you a thumbs up.
Right in
Just
the
gives you a
butt.
thumbs
Right in
up.
the butt.
Yeah, right in the butt.
Right in the butt.
Right in the
No,
butt.
nobody gives you a thumb. But there are emoji. You can you can emote to other players. So there's that. Here,
So
I'm about to
have you
end this.
played? Have you played with anyone? Have you played with?
I haven't
anyone?
played with people, but you do come across people and you can, emote to them. And, I found the nice thing is that people are very friendly and helpful in this game. So in the chat, anytime I've asked a question, like at one point I had on my little cradle, there's this yellow light and it's just pulsing. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I asked in the chat and someone was like, ooh, there's a chest it's walking around near you. Go find it. And I was
Walking
like, "What?"
around? What the fuck?
I know. Sometimes you see a chest on the ground and you'll be like, go
Hello.
over to loot the chest. And it
I've gotta
sprouts
stop you,
arms
just
and it's
a
like,
minute.
it
I've
starts
gotta-
attacking you. It's
I've
called a
gotta-
mimic. It's an old thing from Dungeons and Dragons. This is not new.
I've got to stop you there for a second, dude, because
Yeah,
I'll
go
be
ahead,
honest.
stop me there.
I'll be honest. If I, right, with you having no knowledge, was describing this game to you, you'd be calling it a piece of
Yes.
shit. You'd be just
I
like,
would
"What
call it
the
ridiculous.
fuck are you
And I
playing?"
admit that, right, I admit that fighting, having a wheelchair trap you in a hospital is pretty much
Exactly.
as ridiculous as fighting a tractor in
Exactly. That's exactly what I was
Alan Wake.
thinking.
Yes, that's fair.
Exactly.
However, fighting
fucking
the
is.
wheelchair in this game is kind of fun. Fighting it in Alan Wake was not fun.
Oh my god.
So that's the
I
difference.
think
I
you've
like
got-
a game that's
I
fun.
think you've got various opinions on stuff depending on whether you like it or not. I don't think.
Well,
it's
yeah.
Wait, doesn't everybody have
No. But I mean, like, because you generally didn't like.
You
No.
said you didn't like soda. Well, I didn't like that soda. I
No,
like this
no,
root
let me-
beer.
let me
yeah, but
rephrase
come
that.
on.
Let me rephrase that.
Go ahead,
Because
rephrase.
generally, that you didn't like anything in Alan Wake.
Yes. Yes,
You
it's
just
true.
didn't like it. But because you
Yeah.
like most of this game, even though it's got
Yeah.
a very much similar, ridiculous mechanic going on, you're like,
I
yeah,
will-
this is great.
I will
it's fine."
instantly be critical of the things I love. And that's the question of intellectual honesty. If I love an author and I recognize that one of his books is stupid, I'm going to say, look, I love this author, but that book sucks. Or in the case of like Philip K. Dick, one of my favorite science fiction writers, his female characters are often terrible. It doesn't mean he's not a great writer. I need to be intellectually honest and admit that that part of his work is bad.
It's the
So,
same as
yes, it's
sorry, it's the same as what's the guy? Christopher Nolan.
Nolan.
The women in his films are usually bad, apart from Interstellar
Yeah.
and Martin Scorsese.
Interstellar has
all
some
the
good women characters.
all the women in Martin Scorsese movies are basically prostitutes or drug addicts
Yeah.
or both.
What's that got to do with a walking telly and a fucking wheelchair that traps you?
The
I'm
only
totally
point is,
lost now.
if you love something, you should still be able to critique the parts of it that aren't great.
Yeah, but
And so
you
you're
didn't.
right.
You said it was great. Oh, it's this great puzzle with a
Well,
fucking
no, I
wheelchair
admit that
traps
it's
you.
ridiculous, and
Well, yeah,
the
now-
actual puzzle was
now we
fun.
have.
The fact that it was. I think if you go back and listen to the tape, you'll find that I was saying that it's ridiculous that there's this wheelchair
I don't think you
following
did.
you around or
I don't
making
think
you.
you did.
Fine, then I should have.
Oh.
God damn, are we really trying to like nail me to a cross because I wasn't
No,
sufficiently
no.
negative?
I'm just talking
Great,
about.
let's move on
No,
then.
I'm
Red-
just generally talking about the hypocrisy of Duke. That's all.
No.
Go ahead, talk more about it then.
No. Red Van
Just
Man
saying.
said, "Did you find that pipe in the Lost and Found at school?"
I did not. I actually bought this online
Wow.
because sometimes I will smoke sage, and it's nice to have a decent pipe.
Sage.
Or dope.
Yes. No.
Wow.
That's what people thought. They were like, "What is up with this big bag of weed?" I'm like, "No, it's actually
Yeah,
sage. It's a
big
mild,
bag of
relaxing."
weed.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'll smoke it outside, so you know. But I thought Chinny's pretending to smoke. I will pretend to smoke,
Yeah.
and I have
I
a
like
lighter to
that.
pretend.
I
to
like
Where's
smoke.
Where's your pretend cigarette?
I haven't
film?
got one. Hold up.
Yeah,
minute.
get a pretend
Hold
crack
up,
pipe,
hold up. There we
Stu.
go.
There you go. You've got a screwdriver.
Is that a highlighter?
It's
A screwdriver, right?
Yeah.
Screwdriver,
Not
there
quite
you
as
go.
believable, but that's fine.
No.
That's all I've got.
There
Hold it.
is a couple more things to mention, and
Yeah,
then
go
I'll move
for
on.
Go.
There is they're trying to have it both ways when it comes to they're doing enforced wipes, which Rust does, and a lot of games do if there's building mechanics involved, because otherwise you just have people building shit forever and it loses, start it up and let's start over, right? There's a value in having stuff wiped. But they want to make sure that, first of all, you're not going to lose anything you buy in terms of cosmetics. You're not going to lose any of your skills or your blueprints. So the only thing that's really being wiped is the world that you're in. But you can make a blueprint of your house very easily. So I've built, you build a house, you have a base that you build. And one thing that bugs me right now, which was in the demo, but it's not in the game right now, is that in the demo, you were able to decorate the walls and the floor and the color of your roof and stuff. Right now, you can't. And I don't know what they're waiting for, but
Because
it's
they were
kind of
too
annoying to
busy.
run around.
They were too busy trying to fix the other fucking problem that everybody was
Yeah,
raising
yeah,
about.
they are.
the whining beam. The characters.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I'll tell you this, those people who were kvetching about that, I guarantee you, as soon as they had that problem solved, they went finding something else to be like, I don't like this game for this reason now. So it's like, whatever. Anyway, the point is, when you run around and you see everybody else's houses, they all have the same exact color scheme. The walls are orange, the roof is green.
That's lame.
And it's just like, let me decorate my house. And I've said this about Minecraft too. So lest someone accuse me of hypocrisy, let me make clear that I have this beef with other games too in terms of decorating. We should have had paint 10 years ago in Minecraft. We still can't paint the walls of our houses. And you can get different colored wood and stuff, and you can use colored concrete, but come on, just put some paint in the game, would you please? What are y'all doing?
Okay, G, let me
So-
let me tell you what's happening here. Right. So in the
Is this
demo,
about the multiple characters thing?
no. So
Okay,
in the
good.
demo, you were able to decorate your house because he went, we need to give them a taste. It's like a drug dealer. They're like, need to give them a taste of the
Yes.
decoration. And then when you actually get the full game, that's not there. But what they will do along the line is suddenly go, oh, yeah, you can have this, but you've got to buy it with some of the weird currency you've accumulated over the.
I don't understand why it's not available to buy then.
Well, because they want to keep you in for a bit first, then they'll slowly trickle stuff in to keep you playing.
I mean, that's
what they do.
possible, but to be honest, like I mean, first of all, I will do that. Like, I like this game enough to give them money. But on the other hand, like, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what happens with that.
It is weird that it was available in the demo, but not in the.
It's more likely to be the fact that they haven't tested it, or it doesn't look right, or they want to tweak
or
it.
they're trying to make sure they have as much stable here before they start opening up a new thing to have to debug later on.
Do you know what I will say though? It looks polished. It does look pretty polished.
It's so fun.
It does.
And the scopes,
it does look good.
Like that, you have. You start out with iron. Like, okay, you have a over the shoulder aiming and down the sight aiming, right? Which a lot of games have, right? It's so fluid. And for a while I was just doing over the shoulder aiming, which just puts a little crosshair up, and it's, it's fine for most purposes. But once you get better gear, I got a sniper rifle. I love going to a place, getting up on a high spot, and there's often towers you can climb stuff, and just popping heads for 5 minutes or something. It's so satisfying. And people are complaining like the monsters aren't hard enough, and I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. But to be honest, again, like I don't come here for that. I don't want a super extreme challenge. So whatever, different horses for courses, I suppose. But I did take this boss out, so awesome on me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Oh, I thought you had something else. Yeah.
No.
The reason I was able to do this one pretty easily is because I had done it in the demo. So when it was time to fight it here, I was like, I know what I need to do now. So hide. Number one thing you got to do is hide. So I did a lot of hiding.
It looks like The Division to me, but with super.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when I was watching
supernatural
It's
elements.
funny you say that. Right. It's and it's so funny you say it because I just uninstalled the Division.
What I mean?
Yeah.
I had the Division 2 installed. I played it occasionally, and because I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, I'm getting everything I need from the Division in this once human game, so there's really no need for it. Like, you're hiding, you're vaulting over things. You can't cling to a surface the way you can in the Division, but it's really not important. Yeah. So, okay, let me say a couple more things and I'll shut up finally about this. The Horde mode is weird because you have this resonance refiner. You get this one type of thing, you can refine it into this other currency. That's all we need to talk about. They tell you to be ready to defend the refiner because there are monsters that are going to come for it. And so I was like, oh, snap, I need to get ready. And this is the same base where you're living in. So it's not just, you're dropped in some level and you have to defend the base and not let it get overrun. This is your home you're defending, man. So I put it in the basement and I built several layers on top of it. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to deal with it. And I started it up and then I went on the roof and I was like, all right, you come for this thing. I'll kick your ass. And I was like, where are the monsters? And it's got the timer running down like 3 minutes and it's like halfway done. And I'm like, there's no monsters. Did I do something wrong? And then I heard, I was like, what was that? And I ran around the house. They were coming in through the front door. And I never expected that. I was like, oh no. And they're like beating down the walls. I was like, you motherfuckers. So I got it cleared out. Don't worry. But then there were these big bugs that were like tearing at my roof. And I'm like, you stay away from the roof, you son of a bitch.
So you don't like this then, this game?
Yeah, I feel like
it.
He hates it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play it because it's free, but it's just like, I can't remember the last time a game was just so viscerally fun, and it has a really good progression of gear. So there's always something new, And let me say this too. Steam has this thing now called Steam Notes. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but you have the Steam overlay. You can do screenshots, talk to your friends, all that stuff. They have a notepad now, and it's specific to the game. And for this game, it's really nice because when I have to stop playing, I'm like dying of hunger, or it's time to go to bed, or the Duchess wants to go to dinner or something, something meaningless like that. I can write myself a note that's like, next time, make sure you recycle your gear, because you have to constantly, you collect crap out in the world, you have to recycle it, and then you get component parts that you can use to build stuff. So I'm like, make more steel ingots, and get make a rain collector or whatever. So it's just nice to be able to keep track of it on the digital format, not have to write it down in paper and stuff. Yeah. I'm just, if you haven't played Once Human, if you like crafting, survival, and RPGs, if you like The Division, seriously, what have you got to lose? It's free.
Yeah, it's free. When they sort out the controller stuff, I will give it a go.
Do so.
I will do, I promise.
Get it sorted, Once Human developers. People want to play it on the Steam Deck. Make it happen, Captain.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, Once Human. I get that. Right, okay. In that case,
I put it 3 times on my what you've been playing list.
I finished
it's
the
a funny
game.
joke.
What
did you finish?
I finished the game this week. I
What's
finished Until Then, which is
which one is this?
the Filipino sort of visual novel.
The one where they're all the bouncing around game.
Oh, that's right. Where they're doing
bouncing,
this.
bouncing all the time.
Boing, boing. In a
yes.
school. It's a bunch of kids in a school.
But I didn't finish it at all. I finished it, but I didn't finish it.
Explain.
So here's the thing. It turns out, to get the true ending, you've got to play through it 3 times. You've got to play through the game 3 times.
Well, you do, but Shinny doesn't.
And it does involve butterflies, but in a different way.
Is it butterfly effect? Because
Correct, Mondo. So that's what's happening here to an extent.
So is it worth playing through 3 times?
I really loved it. I loved the game. I nearly sort of cried at the end. It was really sad.
Okay.
Really sad at the end. But I held it together. And I really liked the ending the first time round. I thought it was very clever. Very, very clever. And so I'm on my second playthrough at the moment. So yeah, I'm cracking on with it. And I just love it. I love the dialogue. I love the characters. I love how the world's built. It's very authentic. And it's just it's just so cool. I love it. I couldn't stop. I was like, when, I've had half an hour or Kay was doing something else or there was something on the telly I didn't want to watch, headphones on, playing this. So it proper had its hooks into me. And for anyone who wants something less shooty in the face and a really interesting and quite moving story about relationships and mental health and relationships and all that kind of stuff and how people react to each other and what happens when shit goes bad. I know that sounds quite depressing, doesn't it? This is a game for you. I wouldn't recommend it if you're going through mental health issues to play this. It's probably not the best game for that, to be fair. But it's just about being nice to each other, and I like that as well about it. Do you know what I mean? And helping people get through stuff.
Yes, it is. That is a good thing to have in a game, no doubt. Because so many games are not about that. They're about killing and blowing stuff up. And,
yeah,
I mean, they try to make it about, ultimately, you are trying to help people. If you kill everything that moves, then you'll really be helping our village out. But it's like, come on. We know what you're here for.
GWJ in the chat says evening benders.
He's a what
up, Bender?
So I think he's referring to the character from Futurama, not the fact that we're
to the Bender
homosexuals.
What's that weird cat?
So, evening benders.
Evening.
Evening.
Yeah. No, Stu. No, it's a no on this game because you.
I know.
Because is the reason? Sorry, I was dealing with work stuff, so I'm just texting. But is the reason why you cried because I thought of this joke when I was texting, but I couldn't say it, so I was doing work. Right? Is the reason why you cried is because you wasted your time playing the game?
No, it isn't. I didn't cry, by the way. It was close. It was close. It nearly had me.
But that's a good sign.
You couldn't get a discount?
Yeah, if a game can have that kind of impact. Because he couldn't get his money back. He had played it for too long.
Okay, I can't get my money back. Yeah. They want me to play two more times.
I think it's a good sign that a game can have that kind of impact.
It was super sad. It was super, super sad at the end. I was just like, oh my God, that's so sad.
It's not as sad as Short Circuit 1, though, is it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's close. It's
'Cause
close.
I was too young to understand that he lived at the end of Short Circuit
just to
1. I
let you
thought he
know-
died.
Just to let you know, my first playthrough took 12 hours.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
God.
And then you
Well,
said,
that-
I got to do this again.
Yeah, I've started playing again. I've probably played an hour, so it's probably about 11 hours.
So
10, 11
36 hours they want you to fucking.
Yeah.
No. You're not.
Uh,
I'm sorry. A message to the developers, right? I'm sure you're nice people, the people that made Until whatever. I'm sure you're all lovely. I'm sure you're nice people. You're working hard. It's a passion project. Congratulations, by the way. You've released the game. But fuck off, man. I ain't playing your game 3 times. I
See,
ain't
some
playing.
people-
Yeah.
I
That's
ain't
a
playing
bit
your game.
much.
I don't care about some people, Stu.
I'll go
One
watch
of my
the
favorite
different
games.
endings on
No,
YouTube.
I'm not talking about read it. Just
one of my-
playtime.
one
Some
of my
people
f-
on Steam,
Well,
33 hours.
Yeah, fuck them, right?
hours.
They're crazy, right? Some of my favourite games in the world: Red Dead Redemption 2, Spider-Man 2. I barely play them once, so you know what, developers?
47 hours someone's
just
played.
fucking let me play it once and get it fucking over. Because I ain't playing your game multiple
47
times. I
hours.
don't care. Those are just fucking.
See, I want to know
time.
why on how long to beat. Why does it say 14 hours for the main story? Why doesn't it say 36 hours if you're supposed to play it 3
because
times?
I think you can skip some stuff. You can press skip a lot. if
I
you
would
really
imagine
wanted
you
to.
should on
You
the
can,
second.
well, you
third
can
time
skip
through.
30 hours of cutscenes.
Skip the
can you?
whole thing. And you should.
No, because there's an asterisk on how.
Completionist then should be 36
There's an
hours.
asterisk
You
on
can
how
put
long
it-
to beat, and it says if you play this more
Yeah,
than once,
right.
you're fucking mad.
And some people, to be fair, some people will stop after the first playthrough or the second playthrough. I guess.
You-
They're
are you-
called sane people.
Yeah.
Some people stop after the first 5 minutes.
Some people, after beating Portal 2, they go, "Okay, I'm gonna play something else now."
Yeah.
Other people are like, "Let's play it again."
Hey, you know
I know
what?
this is different
You know
'cause
what?
it is
It is funny because when I played Portal 2, I did play it 2 more times. So I played that game 3 times in a row.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So you're a liar. Hypocrisy
Yeah,
of
you
Chinny.
liar.
Ah.
Got it sorted.
I'll
Now
tell
we
you
just have to
something,
figure out
though.
how Stu's a hypocrite.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I was 26, and my life was very different when I was 26. So
Yeah, well,
I was at university then.
But I'm gonna make
So it's a-
I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now, though.
what's
Bold
that?
prediction.
Mm.
I feel like
Yes,
this is
go on.
definitely going to be in my top 3 games this year. At this point, I really do.
I think I'm going to put this game under. Yeah.
Well,
three
I
games
think
for
you
you.
really
Top
can't
3
judge it until you play it, Chinny. So
Oh, I can.
Until then, you
No,
can
no, no.
judge it. Yes,
I
yeah,
couldn't
did
judge
that.
it.
thing-
I couldn't judge
Title
it
of the
before I
game.
play it. Yeah, I
The
can.
thing is, though, Duke, you played To the Moon and you love that game.
I did enjoy To the Moon. That's true.
So there's no reason. You
But I was
wouldn't like this
27 when
also.
I played that.
I
and
don't- I just
my life was
realised
very different.
I
then.
don't like the
You've changed.
I don't like the term. You know, you can't judge a book by its cover because it's true.
Of
You
course
can't.
you can.
But you can. But like you shouldn't.
You start
Right.
with the cover.
But I can judge a game by a YouTube video because you can't watch a YouTube video of a book, right? So I'm gonna judge it and I'm gonna say, nah, fam.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, we judge the cover of a book, and that's not judging the book, but it is a way of deciding how much that book is for you or not.
But,
So,
I think-
well,
I
yeah, but
think
you don't get a
what's
video
smart-
of the book, do you? And I do.
No,
and
I
I'm
don't-
looking at this and I'm
It's a
going,
different
nah.
thing to get.
I don't think what you get from looking at this is the
Wasted
themes.
time?
No, the theme, the very
The themes.
the complicated themes that are going on in this.
Why is the
story.
Mario theme play through this game?
No,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
it's way more complex than you could ever imagine. It's very clever. It's very.
There's a lot
very
of depth.
clever.
There's a lot of character
There is.
development. It sounds like.
Well,
and
not
that's
even
fine.
that. I mean, just
Some
the-
people
the-
want that. Some people don't.
just the story theme in general and the complex nature of it is very
Okay.
cool. And the premise.
Mhm.
Premise is great.
Hey, I'm glad you like it.
It's so good.
It's your
honestly.
type of game, Stu.
It is my type of
It
game.
is.
Which
I
sounds
love-
like a compliment and an insult at the same
I
time.
would love more people to give this a go, though. You know what I mean? Try
And
something
I would like more
new.
people to play once human.
Try something
shit.
different.
Play the stuff you know you're gonna like.
No, get, no,
Never
get
try
out,
anything different.
Never
Get
go
out of
out
your
your
box.
comfort zone.
Get
No.
out your box.
Never leave
The-
your comfort zone.
Most entrepreneurs will tell you, successful people, stay in your comfort zone. Don't do anything else. Just stay there.
Well,
Yeah,
I will
stick
tell
to
you,
the
we've talked
status
about this
quo.
before. Look, when I go to a Thai restaurant for the first time, I'm ordering pad Thai, the end. And I go to a new Mexican place, I'm ordering the cheese enchiladas. when I go to a restaurant that I love, I tend to order the same thing every time. If it's a 7 out of 10, I'm not rolling those dice because a lot of times it's going to come up 4. And if I could be playing Once Human, which I know I love, I'm not going to be throwing no dice at until then because I'm pretty confident it's not going to be as satisfying to me as Once Human. Now, that's just me. If other people are more into this kind of game, cool, go for it. If I didn't like Eliza, it's not a good idea for me to play this. And maybe I did change since I played To the Moon. It's possible.
You've changed.
Yeah, it's not, we all changed. Can't step in the same river twice, man. You've changed too.
You
You
can.
change your hair.
Yes, you can.
Breathe in.
You can step in the
How?
same river twice. You just walk in it.
No, you
again.
cannot.
You just
No,
go in
it's
and
a
go
different
out and then
river.
go in.
There's different water molecules. We call
Just,
it.
just run. No,
I get
no,
what you
but
did
it's
there.
no. Run down a bit. Step
It's a
in
bit
it
like-
and then run
it's a
down
bit like
But there's different
space-time.
grass. There's different fish.
Yeah,
there's,
it's a bit like
exactly.
That's not part of
That's
the river.
butterfly effect.
Do
That's
you
what
know
Chaos
what
Theory
a
is all
Do you
about.
know what a river is? That the grass isn't part of a river, Duke. You don't know.
Well, did you
There's
know this is
rocks and
in
people take shits in the river.
Yeah. You see, this is
You
I love
saw?
stuff like this. I love stuff like this. But this is what twists your noodle. Because
Yeah.
where space time's concerned, you're never in the
The
same,
same place. Yeah.
twice ever.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
But
this
you feel like you
this
are,
this
but you're
bit
not.
this bit here in front of me, that's moving at like loads of miles an hour. You just don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly, dude.
That's right.
Dude,
weird.
all
Blows
these
your
pictures
mind.
on the wall are moving.
Blows
Then
your
also-
All right.
mind.
Anyway, enough of the philosophical nonsense. Are we ready
If
to
a-
move? Anything
if-
else to say about
if a-
Nearly Then?
If a tree
Brilliant.
if a tree falls in the woods on a bear, does the bear say anything?
Takes a shit and goes, ah!
Yeah, it does.
Do you know? And why was
That's
the
it.
Pope there? What was he
yeah,
doing?
Exactly.
What was he doing
the
there?
hell was happening there?
I think I got that wrong, by the
He
way.
was taking
Does
a
a
shit.
does a pope shit in the woods?
No, but he smells like he shat in your mouth. I don't know. That's from bottom.
Wow.
That's from
Wow.
bottom.
I'm a potato.
It's from bottom stew.
You are a potato.
We haven't got any time for any more games, so thanks for listening to the show.
Yeah, we bloody haven't. No, we have. We have. So, Ginny, have you got something to talk about?
Well, I played Zelda and then the other game. That's all I've got time to say, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
I played Zelda Breath of the Wild. I won't say too much about it, but I've been playing that game. That's a fun game. And I've officially gotten further.
Further.
They're kind of interchangeable, actually.
Yeah,
Further.
could I use
I've
either?
gotten further. Further sounds a little bit posher, doesn't it? So I'll say that.
Yeah.
I've gotten further than I ever did before because I played this game back in 2018 and I dropped off a little bit. And I only did one Divine Beast. Stu, how many Divine... Did you finish this game? I can't
I
remember.
finished this game.
So I only did
totally
one Divine
finished it.
Beast, which was the elephant. Do you remember the squirty little elephant?
That is right. I remember the elephant.
And then you know what? Because I've let go of my shame, Stu. Right? And I'm Googling stuff. If I don't know, I'm like, where's this? I don't know. Google it. Right? I'm just doing it.
I do that for Once Human quite
Don't
a bit.
care,
I'm like,
don't
I
care.
don't want to spend an hour
No.
running around.
I haven't
finding
got the
this crate.
time
Just
to
show 'em.
fucking figure this out.
Yeah.
Just fucking tell me. So I was like, oh, there's a shrine on this thing. I was like, how do I get to it? And then somebody said, well, if you've got the uplift after you beat this divine beast. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a very, very useful thing to have in this
It
game.
is useful. I
So,
can attest
so
to
then
that.
I was right. I was like, well, what kind of divine beast would do that? Probably a flying one. So I'll go to that big flying thing, right? I'll go to that because I can see it. And I go there and all the birds are like, oh, we're so fucking sad because this fucking bird's up there fucking doing stuff. And I'm like, nobody can go up there apart from this like little green guy. Hey, you're a little
the
green guy.
birds like lead singers on the Smiths? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. And
Marty, I'm in love.
So then this guy's like, oh my god, we should go, like we should go. And then you go up there, and the bird who's meant to be badass gets injured. He gets shot in the foot. And he's like, I can't go now. You do it. I've spent 100 years waiting for this moment, but I got a sore leg. So then you do it, and you get it done. That's the name of my book, by the way. Get it done. And
Get it done.
Get it done.
Just a normal book.
Just a normal book.
How to get it done.
Yeah. So I'll get it done. Read
So
the
you
book.
got it done.
Read the book for how I got it done, but I got it done, and now I've got the uplift thing. So now, Stu, I've officially gotten further than I ever have in Zelda.
That's impressive.
And I've been doing a few shrines, and the one shrine that I really liked recently. This is what I love about this game. Is like there's a shrine here. I know there's a shrine here behind this big fuck off door, right? I know because it keeps bleepity bleeping, right? How do I get this?
Bleepity.
How do I get this fucking door down? And then it's on a big snow slope, and then I go up the slope, and there's a little snowball at the top, and I roll the snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it smacks the fucking door down. I'm like,
Crashes
that's
through the door, that's
clever, isn't it? Isn't this game?
And you figured that out for yourself. You
I
didn't
figured that
go
one
look
out
it up.
myself.
That's,
And I
that's
went,
the thing, is like it is satisfying
it is
to figure
satisfying.
it out for
I
yourself.
went up
sometimes.
halfway, and there was a snowball halfway, and I was like, I wonder if I can do that. And I did it, but it wasn't big enough. And I went,
It wasn't big enough.
so I got another one.
maybe
I
there's
walked
a-
all up. I did a Homer Simpson. I got another snowball, and I walked all the way up this fucking hill. It took me ages. And then I got to the top. There was like 10 there waiting for me. And I was like, oh, they'd already thought of
You
this.
numpty.
And so I threw that one down, and that one worked. It smashed the door, and I was like, "That's the game, isn't it? That's
Twist.
fun."
You can't use any of the ones that are up there. You have to
Yeah.
bring your own.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if you
yeah.
tried it with theirs, it would have just done nothing.
So yeah, anyway, that's my little and that what I just explained there. That what I just explained there was around about 10 hours of gameplay. Like that just bit what
my
I just
goodness.
skimmed through. I also did like a maze at the top right of the map. I've
I
done
don't
that.
think you understand how this works, Chinny. You're supposed to take 5 minutes of gameplay and stretch it out for a 2-hour story.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
Yeah, whoa. You cannot talk this week.
No, I think he's referring to himself.
I'm referring to myself. That's the joke.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
although both of you could be accused of that.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was having a dig at
Yeah.
me there. I'm
I'm
like,
just
oh,
saying.
look
I'm
at
having to
me.
dig at both of us.
As Stu would
We're
say-
the same, you and
As
me.
Stu would say, just saying. Okay.
Saying.
Just saying.
Saying
So
it.
I think we should talk about Journey to the Savage
Yeah,
Planet.
let's talk about Journey to the Savage Planet.
Why would we talk about that?
Because we all played it.
Oh, that's that thing in the game where you can do that.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
This
I
part-
use Gadzorp.
This is part of the show where we all play the same game. This week it's Journey to the Savage
Yes,
Planet.
we do. It's usually a game that's on Game Pass. So if you'd like to join us in this adventure, get yourself a
Mind
Game
you-
Pass. And by the way, shout out to Andy, I think it was, on Twitter, who was like, hey, if you log in with your Game Pass credentials, you can skip the ads on your iOS for the Microsoft Solitaire. No, you can't. At least I can't. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Anyway,
Also,
Back to
a
this
lot of
game.
people are unsubscribing from Game Pass because of the new price hike that they've been doing.
Well, we was
recently.
going to talk about that. We were actually going to talk about some news this week.
Anyway, so Journey to the Savage Planet, it's
Are
a
we?
game where you land on a planet. It's all a bit of tongue-in-cheek. It's a first-person game, and they go explore the planet for rocket pieces. It's basically the start of Pikmin without the Pikmin, and you go around.
it's the start of every survival game that
And,
takes place on another planet.
And the first note that I've got is that you can feed these little weird little alien balls, and when you feed them, they fart little protein strings. I really enjoyed that.
I will say this is one of the funniest games I've played in a
It's
very
funny.
long time. They got these videos with ads, and they're really funny.
Funny. It's a funny game.
I think it's pretty well done. I was
It
quite
is.
surprised at how good it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played for quite a long time until I misinterpreted where the marker was. I thought, oh, it's in this cave here, but there's some lava here. And at this point, I got the extra boost on my pack,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I could
yeah.
jump further.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, maybe I can just boost across. I have to put one of them jump things down and then jump on that and then
Yeah.
boost, and I'll get across. Not quite. I did get across, but I had barely any health left when I got to the cave at the other side. And then it wasn't. It was a secret chest. It was nothing to do with the marker. The marker was the other side of it. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm in the wrong place. And then I couldn't get back, and I died in the middle of the lava with all the loot I'd acquired. And I'm like, well, there ain't no way I'm getting that back. So that was.
This
and I
is
was
a lot
like,
harder than I thought it
"Oh."
would be.
Yeah.
I got to a part where there was this. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. The humor was good. There's a teleporter right from the jump, so you get out to an area. There's
Yeah.
a teleporter you activate. You go right back to your ship. It's really nice. And they do the whole thing about like, oh, we're gonna decompose you and then reassemble you, and don't worry, you'll basically have the same memories. But you know, you're basically, you
yeah,
died.
you're a clone, aren't you? Basically, they say
Right,
you're a
exactly.
clone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's good use of the environment. At one point, you're going into this cave, and it's like you have to pick up part of this plant, and it's basically a lantern that you carry around with you,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
thought was pretty clever.
Everything's,
Yeah,
sort,
that was
everything's sort of gross, isn't it?
Organic. It's
Everything's
Everything's
organic.
sort of gross. in
Everything's
this game.
organic. the idea is that you're in a planet that's uninhabited, and as soon as you get there, there's this huge tower, and the guy who sent you there is like, look, we need to figure out who's living in that tower, so keep it between us, okay? They have ads for various products, and then they, you know, in some cases it's like possible side effects include blah, 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 and they do that thing of running through 100 possible side effects. One of them said spontaneous dental prolapse, and I had to write that down because that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But there's this monster that's like a plant that's like
Spikes.
a surveying lamp. No, the spikes are fun. I dealt with the spiky dudes.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
was
like
frustrating, but I did it. Then there's this thing that's like, it's like a CCTV camera, and it's like, and it's going back and forth, and you're supposed to sneak up on it. Fuck me if I could not figure that out. I spent literally 15 minutes trying to get it, and I was like, you know what? This just isn't. I'm just
game. I'm done.
The thing, like I got to you come across like your sort of first big enemy, which is kind of like a spinning lizard thing.
Yeah.
And then you fight that, and I was like, oh, that was tough. And then two more come up, and I was like, oh my god, this is awful. And then I beat them, and I think I got a little bit further than that, and I sort of decided that I'm not really into it. I don't think it's a bad game. Nice graphics. One of my notes says funny, so you know it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It is funny.
But I don't know. I feel like it's missing something. There's something about it. I think it's sort of missing something. And for me, it's probably. It's not, there's not enough draw there for me to play it. Like there's not like the stories basically, there's something weird going on, nudge nudge wink wink, and I don't think that's a big enough draw for me. For the gameplay loop that it's got, it's not fun enough for me to pursue whatever
it's trying to be a bit Dark Souls-ish, isn't it? It's trying to be Souls-like.
Yeah,
I guess.
I didn't enjoy the enemies. I didn't think they were fun to fight. It seems okay, but I just don't have the time for anything that's subpar, so I'm afraid it's I think I'll give it a thumbs up, but I don't think I'll play it, if that's a fair.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the same as well. I liked it, but not enough to probably go back to it.
It's a shame because it's
which
good.
is a shame because it's got a lot of potential. I think when I think about my game, I think this game in some ways is trying to be kind of like Ratchet and Clank. You know what I mean? It's got kind of that same kind of silliness and like over the top elements. The characters are very cartoony. But Ratchet and Clank, you have a lot of combat all the time. In this game, the gun you start with fires 5 shots and then you have to wait for it to reload. And it means that a lot of the game is instead focused on like exploring and getting resources, but you don't have an inventory screen. So you're just gathering stuff and then going back to your ship. And if it's going to be a survival crafting game, okay, make a survival crafting game. If it's going to be a game where you fight a lot of things, make it a game where you fight a lot. I feel like it's trying to do several things at once, and it ends up being a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I think it's a better version of High on Life, if I'm being honest.
High on Life was that the Rick and Morty game?
Yeah, that was...
It does sort of feel similar, but you know what? I really liked High on Life because it was just a linear... First-person shooter. I finished it. I finished it High on Life, and I thought it was really clever and well written as well. But it is the same tone. It's definitely like that same vibe. It does look the same, and
it's not quite as crass though. It's not as crass as
and you don't have guns that like talk to you and stuff, which is also,
you don't.
That's quite funny. But yeah, I don't find the enemies fun. I just don't find the enemies fun. I don't like fighting them. There you are. So that's Journey to the Savage Planet. It's good.
So it's 3 thumbs up, but there's asterisks, and we're not ever going to play it again.
We're never going to play it or
it's
talk about it
endorsement.
ever again. I'm sure the developer is very pleased with that.
That's right.
Yeah, I think the proviso I give it is that it's not that it's a bad game, but I've got other games I'd rather be playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a tough world out there.
It's a tough world.
It's a cold world. We have no compassion.
Right. Duke, you've got one more game on your list.
I do have one more game because in the 2 days between when we recorded our last episode and Human came out, I was like, what am I going to do to fill the time? And I played a little Skyrim, a little Rocket League. I need something else. And I went looking for information about what time Once Human came out. And I found this website where they were like, we're all very excited for Once Human. We've been staying busy with the First Descendant, but it's not going to be, you know, whatever. We're really looking forward to Once Human. I was like, First Descendant? I never heard of that. What's that? So I went looking. First of all, it's free. Hey.
Nice.
It's kind of a cross between Destiny 2 and Genshin Impact.
Oh boy.
All right, okay.
If that makes any sense, which I know it doesn't.
It looks like a third-person Destiny to me at the moment.
It's a third-person Destiny. It's got different characters eventually that you unlock, but you start out as either a girl with like this ridiculous armor that's like boobs front and center, or a guy who's like thoroughly armored up. You know, guys get to have armor. Women have to be like, look at my boobs. And then there's like a robot type thing you could be. So I was like, whatever. Anyway, there's like an escort mission for the tutorial. And I was like, oh, God, are you kidding me? It's got a grappling hook, which is something they really could use in Once Human. And it's flawless in First Descendant. Like, you look at a thing, and if it's close enough, you can just zoop, and you just zoom right up there. And it's like so nice. So that's really good. The writing and the voice acting is ridiculous. It's so bad. But I'll say this, they recorded dialogue for most of the, you know, cutscenes and the lines of dialogue. Once Human did not. There's still a lot of Once Human where you're talking to someone and they'll go, hey, how's it going? And your character just moves their hands and their mouth, but they're not saying anything.
That's a very
they
sort
have
of
subtitles.
It's a very PS2 sort of era thing, isn't it? That
Sure. Yeah. But sometimes you not your character, but then the other person will just be like, it'll just have their words on the screen, and then you'll go back and forth a few times, and then the other person will talk again. And you're like, Once Human developers, what are you doing? You're just recording some of the dialogue when you feel like it.
Yeah,
and
we'll
the rest
fill
of
it
the
in
time,
later. We'll fill it in later.
Yeah. We have to deal with these people complaining about multiple characters.
I can't believe we have to go to the we'll fill this in bit later mountain.
Right. I love you, Philip J. Fry, and your personal attribute missing. Anyway, there's this whole thing about like you're watching a sunset and there's pulsing carbon tubes on the ceiling and there's a chick made out of light who guides you. But look, all of that is kind of like background, you know, the cutscenes, you'll get through them. Most of the game is like, go here, shoot a bunch of enemies, and then get the thing that they drop.
It
And
looks
it's
fun,
satisfying.
man. It looks fun.
The movement, it's kind of vanquished
Slick,
a little bit in the movement. Yeah, it is slick. You can like run around and slide.
The grapple hook looks very good. He looks
The grapple hook is good. The gunplay is solid. Like I'm actually enjoying it. If Once Human hadn't come out, this would be my game of the week.
Wow.
And it might be top 5 game of the year. Like I need to play it more, but I didn't really have anything substantive that was negative about First Descendant. There's a lot of stuff in it that's stupid.
The only flaw for me is that it's free to play because you know you're gonna. That's the only that's a big red flag for me for a game. It's free to play.
I don't blame you, but on the other hand, it's free to play. So it's both a positive and a negative to me.
Yeah, but they're gonna shaft you somehow. They're gonna shaft you somehow.
I know. They need your eyeballs. That's what it's, and they're gonna spam you with
eyeballs,
loot
but I like my
whatnot.
eyeballs. I want to keep
well,
them.
you know what? Your eyeballs are going somewhere, man. Your phone, your fucking social media feed.
Yeah.
So why not put them on this?
Always listening.
So First Descendant, big thumbs up. I'm enjoying it, but I can't say too much about it because Once Human came along and said, "Oh, fuck all that. Play this."
Okie dokie. Right, yeah, we are going to quickly cover some news. I know we don't normally get around to news, but
oh my god,
big
it's been
news
7
week.
years.
there's some big old fucking news.
Go on.
So basically, Xbox, Microsoft, I guess, and Xbox went, you know what? We're not charging enough for that Game Pass. We're giving people a lot of stuff. And we're just not getting enough cash back into the big old pockets that we've got.
It's more like Stu. It's more like this. It's more like this. Fucking hell! I've just spent a lot of money on that Call of Duty. You couldn't give us any money, could you? Please, just like 70p. Just give us 70p, please. We'll give you.
So
all
what are they
colour.
doing?
They're jacking. So what they're doing? They're jacking up the price for the Ultimate Game Pass, which is the everything. You get everything, right? They're upping the price of the PC one, right?
Yeah.
So that's okay. If prices go up, that's sort of the way it goes. I don't know. Who cares?
I don't know.
Couple of quid or something like that, right?
Okay.
But the new thing that they're doing is they are they've created a new bundle, Game Pass
They
bundle.
have.
Okay.
And this is the one that everybody's like, what's the fucking point in that one? Because it's called Xbox Game Pass Standard. And what it does is it doesn't give you the day one games. So the big promise with Game Pass is like, you get to play all our games. What about Gears 2? Huh? You want that day one? Well, you've got it. You know, like all the new Xbox games, like, you know, all the great Xbox exclusives, like, you know, all the
Gears of War.
you know, like all the good ones. No, the good ones too. The good
yeah.
games. The good games. There's loads of them.
I see what you did there.
There's not many. So the big sell with Game Pass is that all the Xbox exclusive games would come out and you get it day one. What a deal! When it was £6 a month, it was like, oh my god, it's a no-brainer. Problem is now it's a lot more expensive. So this tier, this Xbox Standard one, is you don't get that. You get about 300 games or something. You get all the classics. You get some retro ones. You get, you know, it's a sort of like slim pickings.
There's two. There's Standard, and then there's one called Game Pass Core. And Game Pass Core, you pay an annual subscription to, so that goes from $49.
Oh right, yeah. Well, isn't it the same one? But like you just pay an annual subscription, isn't that the same thing?
Yes, but you only get about 50 games. You're all right. But Game Pass Standard, though, it's all complicated.
It's all complicated.
Is replacing console Game Pass, so that's gone.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's replaced Game Pass Standard. And unless you have Ultimate, is the only way you get games day one.
So
before,
unless you're on the
used to get them
PC,
on
no, unless you're on the PC.
No.
You're wrong.
No,
if you're
you get them on. Yeah. You get them on PC as well.
You get them on,
Sorry,
the PC bundle, you get the Microsoft Day One games, so everything new.
Yeah, baby.
So you would have got Starfield on that one, but so
PC
almost what it is. The problem with that, Stu, is that like it's almost more appealing for someone like you.
Yeah,
to downgrade your Game Pass from Ultimate. So say you're paying, I don't know how much it is, but say you're paying $17.99 and you downgrade it to $11.99 for the PC.
Yeah.
Because you think, well, fuck it, I won't play the Xbox then. I ain't going to play the console, I'll just sell it.
Yeah. So Game Pass Ultimate's going up from $12.99 to $14.99, so that's what's happening with that.
Is this British pounds?
This is British pounds.
Right.
Game Pass, PC Game Pass is going up from $7.99 to $9.99.
In the US, $9.99 to $11.99. I don't understand why it's cheaper for the PC than it is on the console.
It always has been.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because there's more competition on the PC.
Yeah, there is.
I suppose so.
And Game Pass Core
PC
annual
Master
is going up from $49.99 to $55.99 a year.
So for people like, I'm serious though, Stu, for people like you and Duke who bum your PCs, right, and your Steam Decks or whatever.
Yeah.
Isn't it more?
Hey, that's not plural. I ain't got no fucking Steam Deck.
Isn't it more efficient for you to just go, well, I'll sell my console and I'll just downgrade to the PC?
I could, but then I've got to play. Then I've got to play games on the PC, sat at my PC all the time.
But what about your Steam Deck?
Steam Deck just
it'd be hard to play the Xbox games on the
streaming only, just streaming only. So it only does the cloud gaming.
Yeah.
So
but you said that's really good though.
It works fine. It does work fine.
No, I'm serious. You said it works really good.
It does work well most of the time. It does. But occasionally, I mean, things like Still Wakes to Deep I downloaded just to be that it didn't crash halfway through, or I had to wait in a queue for
it works great if it doesn't crash halfway through.
So
well, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen.
I text Phil No Neck Spencer and I said, look, Phil, like, what's going on here? Like, come on, Phil, come on, Phil, what's going on? And he said, well, I can't look down at this phone because I don't have a neck. So that's one. So I've got to bring
he can hold it up.
He's holding it up. And he says, we've just got to pay for Call of Duty. Like, we can't afford it.
Blizzard. We bought Activision. What do you expect?
And somebody had a theory, by the way. Do you know how much it is to pay for World of Warcraft a month?
Oh, is it a subscription?
$15 a month?
It's about
$15 a month. I don't know how much it is in British pounds, but we'll go with dollars, right?
12 quid.
Someone said that top tier, the top tier Ultimate. Someone said, what if down the line they went, oh, you get a free subscription to World of Warcraft? Because that would draw everybody back in. That would draw everybody in.
That would draw. I don't think I'd upgrade to that, but it would be kind of cool to have. I wouldn't mind playing World of Warcraft. I'm just curious to see what it's all about.
Oh, virtual crack! Don't even go down that rabbit hole. What is the matter with
Hey,
you?
I already got that with Once Human. Thank you. It's good.
It is dangerous. I looked at the title of World of Warcraft, and Tara says, "You've been looking at that for 5 hours." And I'm like, "Wow, how did it do that?"
Yeah, you're going to be so careful.
It just draws
Careful,
you in.
people.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah.
I can safely say I will never play World of Warcraft in my life ever, and I'll be happy.
Don't ever catch the dragon, Dad!
I'll be happy. I'll be a happy man never playing that game.
Yeah, happy man. Okie dokie.
Okie
Right, let's do some.
What?
Is it me or did Stu just?
I don't know what you said
blink
there,
out?
Stu. You blinked out. Sorry.
I think he said let's do some emails.
Let's
Is that
do
what you
s-
said, Stu?
Oh, he can't hear us.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Is he gonna go?
Oh,
Is he gonna
shit.
die?
Uh-oh. Stu is... his face is flushing red. He's gurgling blood.
Stu.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
can't-
I don't know what's that's twice. It happened once last week, and it's happened twice this week. Me headphones just cut out,
Oh.
and I
Oh,
have to go into
jeez.
Zoom and
Oh, man.
switch off the audio from the headphones to someone else, and switch it back to headphones, and it works again.
So say it again. What was you gonna
That's
say? So
crazy.
it's time to what?
Time for some emails.
Oh.
Oh, you couldn't hear me either, could you not?
Only for a bit.
Weird.
Whoa, that ruled.
So I don't know whether that's Zoom or whether it's the setup on my PC, but there's something weird going on. I don't know. Something very.
yeah.
It's not Zoom. It's you.
Don't
It's
know.
you. It's your
Uh,
brain interfering with the brain.
Anyway, first email this evening is from Jason.
I'm sorry, Jason. I love you. I do want to work on that thing, but it can't be this summer. It's just not happening, dude.
And his email is entitled "Duke is a dick." Wow.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, he must have read his mind. He must have sent an
Well,
email.
we had an email exchange, so I know why he's writing.
Yeah, no, he isn't. That's not what he said at all.
Well, he
So
should.
his title is Boss Wave. Boss Wave. He says Fury. Now that's a game. I've been
I had it on my
listening
wish
to.
list for a while.
I've listened to while I beat the shit out of the bosses. I've had some stress lately, so I might get back on Fight Club. I mean, Fight Night and whoop some ass. Recently, there was a leak behind my. I have no idea. There was a leak behind my water heater, and some clown gave me an estimate of 20,000 plus
What?
plumbing repair costs. He didn't even honk his nose.
Okay, smoke.
Jesus
That's
Christ, that's a
crazy.
lot of money.
20,000.
Yeah. Any game you could recommend that would be a stress reliever, not
Once Human's
Duke,
pretty good at relieving stress.
not Duke. Please don't suggest that of all games. I am not playing that shit.
What?
I
What
don't know.
game?
I don't know.
I mean,
reckon-
Skyrim is presumably what he's referring to. but
or Rocket could be Rocket
Skyrim is-
League. Could be Rocket League.
Rocket League does not relieve stress, though. I would never claim that Rocket League
it
relieves
doesn't.
stress.
Yeah. Anyway, whichever game it is, he says he's not playing it.
I tell you, the one game that's actually soothing for me is called Night Sky. You're just this little ball. It's kind of a platformer, but it's so chill.
There you go. I would suggest Power Wash Simulator. Surely.
Yeah.
You just want something to
can see
sort
that
of
being
that you don't have to
soothing.
think too much about, and you can just de-stress while you're
Unpacking, maybe?
unpacking. while
I'm
you're
gonna go
cleaning
retro.
stuff. Go on.
Right. I'm gonna say Demolition Derby or something to that
Ah,
effect.
okay. Oh,
Because then
you're
you
going
can
the
see it go-
more
and you're gonna
get your
fucking-
aggression out.
Yeah, like a stress smash room or something, you know, where you just
Yeah.
bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam.
Get that
yeah.
aggression.
Get that aggression out. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's something they should have for VR or something, like just a room with like glass, window panes and like, big things you can set on fire. You know what I mean? Like just a rage room where you can just go nuts and just.
Do
And
you
then
know, can I just
Harrison
say-
Ford pops up at the end and goes, "It was all real."
they are. Can I just say they are a thing in the UK? I don't know whether you have these in
Is
America.
that, like you can go to a place and like
Yeah,
smash
yeah.
things?
It's like smash
you can
room.
smash
okay.
cars up. You can smash
Yeah.
TVs, radios.
Yeah.
You can do
Whatever
that
you
bit
want.
in
I don't think I would actually enjoy actually doing it though.
You're wearing protective gear.
Yeah,
No,
sledgehammers.
it's not about that. It's about like that
Swords.
TV could be maybe somebody would want to use that TV or like use it as a prop in a movie or
Yeah, but then what's the
something,
point
Oh.
of the room that you're paying to smash it up in?
Such a Buddhist.
What
Well,
is
that's the
wrong
thing. I'll
with
go
you?
for a walk or something to relieve my
Such
stress.
a-
That's just not. I don't know.
Oh, dude, you're such a Buddhist. Though. Maybe that TV could have a different life.
Someone else. Could, no, there's
No.
a thing.
Its
there's
life
there's
ends with
comic
you,
about-
and you smash the shit out of it.
If you see a penny on the street, don't take it. Someone else needs that penny more than you do.
No, kick it down the drain. No one has it.
There you go. Go on, Stu.
Anyway, there is more to this now.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yes, Stu.
Anyway,
Right.
now that's what Jason said. He went anyway.
Anyway.
The recent murder attempt in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I am
so
not a
messed up.
Trump or a Biden supporter, but anyone that would physically attack either of them, in my view, should be considered a fucking twat and go
Well, of
either to hell or jail.
Sure.
Well,
I mean, if
neither
he
of
wasn't
them.
killed instantly.
I was just going to say, can we just be clear? Neither of those things is happening to this perpetrator.
Well, I
is
mean, he might be in hell.
well, he may be in hell, but he's definitely dead.
The devil's like,
Yes.
tough break, kid. Tough break. You know, you had a
Well-
good shot, but tough break.
We are gonna turn this around for the better. Positive attitude, dudes.
I like that
please.
attitude. Yeah. Totally.
So there you go.
I mean, who knows what the future holds? It's a really messed up situation, but.
Why didn't they have snipers on that roof? Eh? Why didn't
Well,
they?
that's a good question, and I mean, maybe they did. I don't know.
Doesn't look like it.
Apparently, there was a big tree in the way, and that's why they didn't notice him.
Well, that's
Is the official line?
well. They noticed him when they had to fucking shoot him afterwards.
Yeah, they did.
Well, yeah, and they had him. He was dead in seconds, which is speaks to the speed and efficiency of the Secret Service.
Not so much the speed of
Yeah,
efficiency of the people that dragged Donald Trump away to let him get his shoe. Like, hang on, I need my shoe.
Well, and of course he had to give the little.
yeah.
Right. Anyway, anything else from Jason in that email?
No, that's it.
Clickety clack.
No, that's
Okay,
it.
thank you, Jason. Appreciate it, Jason.
But we have got another email.
Did you,
off
no, but
Mike.
did you see the Biden speech? Because he said he remembers when Lincoln got shot. Biden.
No, he didn't.
He says, I was there, and I said to Lincoln, "You're a young man, Lincoln," and then he got shot. You know, that's how old he's old.
No,
is
he
the
didn't.
joke.
That's a coherent sentence. He said,
And then I went clickety clack. You know,
I mean,
the joke.
clickety-clack.
Shoo, the joke is that Biden's very old. Do you understand?
I
the
know
joke?
he is. He is
He's
very
incoherent.
Yeah.
so incoherent. It's so. And I had given him money right before the debate, and so now he's texting me every day. Like, this is Joe. I'm not dropping out. And I write back, "You should drop out. I'm not giving you money. Come on, dude.
Why are you
know
wasting
you're
your
gonna
time
lose this
texting
shit."
everybody? Surely this could be
Well,
automated.
I don't know what else to do. Nobody else. Of course, it's automated. He's not hearing to me.
He
I don't
ain't
have any
listening
delusions
to
that I'm
you.
actually going to reach Joe Biden. Like,
I like
pass
the
this on
idea.
to
I
Joe,
like the
would you?
idea that he's doing it himself. It's just
Clickety clack.
Hey.
Right. Okay. Mike Post.
Okay.
remember the Great War?
Mike Post. Oh my God.
Mike Post.
Mike Post.
He says game mechanics.
Game mechanics.
Okay. People who
Mechanics.
fix cars and games.
He
Mechanics.
says, "All right, how's it going?
Fine.
Yeah. We love it.
I've been playing some more X Defiant.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, he has. X Defiant. And when you switch from your primary weapon to your pistol, you have increased movement speed.
Oh, interesting. This is
Good.
true also of Counter-Strike, so I guess they're borrowing that mechanic there.
Yeah. But when you come across others that are pistoling, they
Pistoling.
move around much faster and are harder to kill.
I love it.
This makes no sense. It's as if you throw your assault rifle to the ground. When you should sling it over your shoulder, you should be able to run
Yes.
faster. You have the same amount of
Agreed.
weight on your
It's a
person.
video game. Are we really? I mean,
This game
well,
mechanic really winds me up. This also
Here's the
happens-
thing. This is gonna blow your mind, dude. You ready? There's actually no such thing as a bus with legs.
No, there isn't.
I mean,
This also
you know what? I'll
happens
debate that.
in most
If you throw a snowball down a hill, it will not actually crash through a rock wall.
Yeah, I'll debate.
in most first-person shooter games. It needs adjusting.
Yes, fair enough. You're not wrong.
What are some game mechanics that really wind you up that need balancing or scrapping altogether?
Game mechanics that.
I feel like we've made a lot of progress on this type of thing. Like I don't really play a lot. I'm more interested in developers getting better at fucking story and dialogue, man. Every game I play, even Once Human, the dialogue's not great. the story's okay, but the dialogue is like, come on, man, you don't need 6 back and forths for this exchange. One would do. Blah 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 blah. The end. Just keep it simple.
What you need to play is Until Then if you want good story and dialogue.
Yeah, that's really right to the point and not dragged out at all, I'm
All
sure.
right,
It
don't
isn't.
argue about this. No.
Don't you fucking
I'm not saying it's
Don't
bad
stop.
dialogue.
No.
I'm just
Whoa.
13 hours and then
Whoa.
please play it again is
Whoa.
not my idea of concise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Is it really concise?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Are you doing a guitar like a little wow wow wow? But game mechanic that if I see this game mechanic in a game, I throw up a little bit in my mouth. I'm,
There you go. Oh, no,
Shooting?
God.
Guns?
Anything that's a roguelike, I just go.
Oh, you hate it, don't you?
Oh,
Hate it.
God.
But have you
Which-
played Hades though?
Which I
Have
know
you
Hades is
played
on my list.
Hades?
I'm aware that there's
Come
good
on,
one.
man, you haven't played Hades.
I love Vampire Survivor. I know that's a sort of
What about
roguelike.
Hades?
But like
Binding of
the
Isaac.
problem is the good ones have now spoilt it for the rest because like everybody's like we can basically not make
Well,
a
yeah,
linear
of
game
course.
and
Let's
good level.
also do that.
We can destroy our level design and just make it procedurally
What about
generated.
Antoine Bugleboy and all the other designers that looked at an
So-
oversaturated marketplace and said, "Me too."
So here's mine.
Play the clip.
Here's mine. Fucking building mechanics in games that don't need it.
Agreed. I actually agree with that. Like, not every game. Robin Hood's a great example. Like, that didn't need no building. Like, if you want to give me a Robin Hood game, cool. Let me go out and shoot people through the eye with a bow and arrow.
Are you
But
thinking
I
about?
wanna make a village?
Are you thinking about a game in particular, Stu? Because I think I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
I think
You
so.
know what
I
I'm
Something
think
about
so.
Fallout 4 again.
It can be,
Fallout
could be. Fucking Fallout 4. Fuck off.
I don't mind the settlements.
I-
in there,
yeah, I
especially
like-
because
I
they weren't
liked it.
mandatory.
I like
Stick your monkey wrench up your ass, man. I ain't fucking building nothing.
That's painful.
You had to make one settlement. That was all that was required.
Yeah.
You can fuck right off.
Right. Yeah. I imagine him storming to like the Bethesda office and go, "No,
It's a bit like, I'll tell you another one. I'll give you
No, when
another
he texted,
private.
he
We're
texted
not- we're
back,
not-
tell
we're-
Todd I said,
sir, we're not letting you in." But I need something to tell him something.
I'll build a ladder outside. That's what you want me to do, right? Build.
I'm going to give you another one as well.
Go
Fucking
on.
another one.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
2
let
for
her
the
rip.
price of 1.
I'm going to
yeah.
say
Red
three
Dead
words.
2. Can you build a
I'm going
house?
to say 3 words.
Red Dead 2 is 3 words.
Witcher 3, Gwent.
Oh,
just
oh.
fucking
Well,
hated
yes. I agree with those.
You know what,
frickin' mini
Hey,
games.
Big
Stu,
Gwent.
I quite liked Gwent.
Oh, fuck off.
What?
I did. I liked
you
it.
serious?
Yeah, I liked
Fucking
it.
stick that
Why? What's the
game
like?
But I like card
A
games.
weird
though.
card game.
I like them.
And
Did you
every
get
person-
the standalone and play
Every
it a lot?
person you come across
No.
goes, "Ooh, do you want to play
Well, then you
Gwent?"
didn't
No,
really
no, I
like it,
don't.
did you? I really like pizza. Oh, let's go get pizza. No, I don't want pizza.
No, but
what
it
the
was
fuck?
like- no, I play-
How
I
much
like-
could you have liked Gwen if you didn't actually play it?
I did play it in the game
Yeah, well, why didn't you play the standalone?
because
More Gwent.
I didn't like it. All right, I'm not going to wear.
Hypocrisy.
I'm not going to wear a T-shirt saying I fucking love Gwent. Right? I'm not on the defense.
Well, you should. If you really like it, you
Alright.
should get a
What I'm
t-shirt.
saying is, when I played it in the video game, The Witcher 3,
Yeah, you liked it as a side
liked it.
affair in which
Somebody was
a
like,
little
"Yo."
change of pace, little card.
Lo,
Did you
yo.
play Caravan in New Vegas?
I did, but I didn't
That was
like
another
that. I didn't
stupid
like that.
game.
I hated that.
I mean, maybe that's not as good a game. I
No,
spent
I
3
just-
seconds trying to figure it out. I was like, fuck that
No,
shit.
says the man who played like solitaire
didn't
back to
get-
back to back to
And,
back.
Right? As much as I
Oh, I'm
like,
still playing solitaire like an hour every day.
as much as I like poker in real life,
I love poker.
why am I playing that in fucking Red Dead when I can be shooting someone in the face or holding up a tray?
Why are you playing
Why
it
am I
in?
playing
Because sometimes
poker?
it's nice to do a little change of pace.
Yeah, I love poker in Red Dead.
I mean, I agree with you, Stu. Like in Once Human, I didn't even talk about like the farming mechanics and the fishing. Who gives a shit? Why do you need that in this game? You don't. You
Exactly.
really don't. It's that thing
Exactly.
of like, it doesn't take much to put it in. Let's just put it in. No, stop. Less is more, people. Come on.
You don't have to have everything in a game.
You
That's what
really
I'm
don't.
saying.
Amen.
Okay, he says, see you later. Catch you on the flip side, Mike. So there you go. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Post.
Thank you, Mike.
And we have one more, which is a quiz off a Silent Gamer, right? I'm quite
Oh,
worried.
snap.
I am quite
You
worried
didn't tell me there was a quiz coming.
because it's a half.
It's time for the quiz. It's time for the quiz.
Ugh,
We play the
Half-Life.
shooting sound clip when it's
I'm
time
done.
for the quiz.
I'm out. I ain't got
It's
no
a
Half-Life knowledge.
Half-Life quiz.
Okay.
He says, hi, Stu, Chinny, and Duko.
Hello.
What up?
Here is a
Thank you in
Half-Life
advance
quiz.
for the quiz.
is a Half-Life quiz that Stu requested some time ago. I'm not really into Half-Life myself. No offense. How dare you?
It's
You
an
need
old
to-
game.
Speedboat, dude.
You know what?
It's 20 years
And
old.
crabs,
It's
man.
20 years old.
You know what, Silent Gamer? You need to stop listening to this podcast right now and play Half-Life 2 right now.
You have a crowbar, dude.
Yeah,
You know what? I'd give
man.
that stop
Alex
listening to
Freeman,
this show
dude.
right now to most people listening.
Just
Yeah, that
stop.
is true. That is
Yeah,
also
really.
true. That is
What's
also
wrong
true.
with you?
Anyway,
No, we
here
love you and we appreciate you.
We do, but play Half-Life 2 for the love of God.
Or don't. We play Once Human. That's free.
Oh, shut up. Question 1 of 5. Which of these is a doctor in Half-Life? Doctor in Half-Life.
Doctor Who.
Alex?
Doctor Who.
Is it A? Is it A, Dr. Cortex? Is it B, Doc Mitchell? Is it C, Dr. Kleiner? Or is it D, Dr. Z? Now, I know the answer to this,
Well, I
obviously.
don't
It's a
know the answer to
Half-Life
this.
super fan.
Well, I haven't got a fucking.
Is one
Well-
of them Doc Mitchell, did you say?
Yeah, Doc Mitchell.
Doc Mitchell is from Fallout New Vegas.
Ah, there you go. But,
believe.
well,
He's
well
one
the
who
answer,
patches
can I
you
just
up at the
say,
beginning of the game.
the
Yes,
answer is
please.
C, Dr. Kleiner.
Uh-huh.
So that's the actual answer,
Okay.
Dr. Kleiner.
Okay.
Dr.
Cool.
Z, where's that from?
Is Morgan Freeman not a doctor in Half-Life 2?
He's a scientist, isn't
Yeah.
Thought he was a doctor, like a
No.
doc. He didn't have a doctorate.
Well, he is, but he's,
he? I don't know. I don't think the game goes into much about his background of education, to be honest.
Well,
No, it
someone
doesn't.
might say, "Hey, Doc," and the internet certainly does. Dr. Gordon Freeman. What?
Yeah, he is a doctor. Well,
Yes.
he starts
He is
off
a
as-
doctor.
he
So
start-
this
oh my
quiz
God.
is illegitimate because one of the answers could be Gordon Freeman, who's
It's not.
also a doctor.
It-
Yes,
no,
but
but,
it's
a
not.
game could have more than one doctor.
Yeah. The question
Exactly,
is,
but-
which of these is a doctor in Half-Life? Not which
You're
of these
just-
is
Yeah,
Gordon
I get it.
Freeman.
Well,
You're-
it should have an
Oh my
option
God.
for
You're just
Morgan Freeman.
mad that it hasn't got the doctor that you can name.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
it's
whoa.
all about me.
I think Dr. Z is from the fucking thingy, Borderlands. Isn't
That Borderlands? Yeah, yeah.
I feel
There
like
is.
it's
I think
Borderlands.
it's Dr. Zed. Yeah, because it's
think
like Zed's
Dr. Zed is
Apocalypse. I think he brought the
Borderlands.
zombies.
I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah, I
got
think you're right.
no, no
So
idea.
then it just leaves. What's the other one?
Dr. Cortex. I feel like I know that as well.
Cortex. Is that Gears of War?
Cortex.
What could that be, Stu?
I feel like, is that Gears of War?
Sure.
Sure. I don't think it is Gears of War.
I don't think it is
I
either.
feel
Chinny
like
would know
it's-
if it were.
I
He
feel
knows
like
Gears
it's
of War.
more in a sort of Nintendo type game, Dr. Cortex. It's not like a
No,
Mario.
that's Dr. Mario.
I don't know. Or,
There is a
or-
Dr. Mario. Mario is also a
Or,
doctor,
Yeah,
or
which should be an option on this list.
Or
What other doctors should be listed?
Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that.
Isn't Alex? No,
No, it's
not
Dr.
Alex,
Robotnik.
Shell. Yeah, that's
I
true.
feel like it's one of them types
What about the
of
one in
games.
Mega Man? Who's the doctor in that?
Mega Man.
Doctor
What
Mega
about
Man.
Ratchet? What about Ratchet and Clank?
That's Dr. Ratchet and
I
Clank.
can't remember.
Let's go with that. Let's go with Ratchet and Clank. I'm
Okay,
sure it's
fine.
wrong.
Let's go with
do
it. Go ahead.
Right, here we
Read the
go.
answers. We're in a big hurry.
So obviously, Dr. Kleiner is in Half-Life 2.
Yes.
Dr. Cortex. Oh, I'm so close.
What? What?
It was Crash Bandicoot. I knew it was going to be one of those types of games.
You were close. That's a Nintendo E type of game.
Oh, I said that. I just felt like
It's
that.
not a
It just
Nintendo
felt
game,
like
but it's a Nintendo E.
so
Yeah, sure.
close. Doc Mitchell was in fact Fallout New Vegas, as Stu alluded
Yeah,
to.
yeah. What?
And Dr. Zed was from Borderlands, which I got. So that's two out of 4. I'm liking that. It's good. Good.
Nice.
I did pretty well there, just saying. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I know the answer to this. Which of these is a forest in Half-Life?
Is there a forest? Is there a forest?
There is. There is. Is it Korok Forest, White Forest, Cumberland Forest, or Viridian Forest? Viridian Forest.
Well, Korok is an item that you collect in Zelda.
Yeah, so that's going to
Korok
be
seeds.
Zelda.
So it's a Korok forest is Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah. Cumberland. I feel like it. Well, it's.
That's a
I think
sausage
it's-
forest.
Yeah, I think it's Cumberland or White, but
It's a forest full of sausages.
I'm thinking it's White Forest. That's my gut instinct is White. Viridian. I mean, they don't have names like that in Half-Life, so I doubt it's that. I don't know where that's from though.
No
And Cumberland, I have not a clue.
no.
No clue. But I'm going white. I feel it in my water.
I feel it in my water.
My fingers.
I
And it
feel
is,
it in
can I just say?
my bum.
Can I just say, 2 out of 2, White Forest is in Half-Life 2.
Well, aren't you the thing where the thing
I
is
am.
the thing?
Korok Forest is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So well done, Chinny there. Cumberland Forest is Red Dead Redemption 2.
I don't know where that is. I haven't got a clue.
And Viridian Forest is the Pokemon series, which I would never played, so I would never have gotten, I guess.
Feel it in my fingers.
Okay,
Okay.
let's move on to the next question. 2 out of 2, here we go. I've got to get 5 out of 5 or I'll be feeling like a bit of a dick. Which of these is an enemy in Half-Life? Okay. Giant soldier ant,
Oh.
ant lion,
Oh.
spider ant, or a
Spider
bloated
ant,
ant. Well, this is
spider
an easy
ant.
one. My favourite weapon in the series of Half-Life 2, gotta say, is of course the ant lion, where you have pheromones and you just throw them into enemy nests and they just go and take everybody out. Favourite bit of the game, absolutely fucking
Very
love it.
satisfying.
It is such a great weapon.
Die.
Best weapon in a video game. It's better than the grav gun, to be fair. I love the ant lions.
Behave.
Giant soldier ant. What's that in?
Borderlands?
Ah, you could be right. That could be another
Maybe.
Borderlands. Could be. Spider ant. Is that from Spider-Man? I have no idea.
There aren't
Spider ant.
any spiders or ants.
What about Spider-Man ant? Ant-Man spider. I don't know.
No.
Bloated ant. What's that from? Who knew there were so many games with your ants in for a start off?
I guess.
Ever since the petition that Ants put up in '96, they wanted to be featured in more
We
video
demand
games.
ants.
Because they said, oh, their
Yeah.
argument was like, spiders get all the attention in movies. We want to be in games. So there was a law that passed in '96 where they have to be in more video
Right. Well, let's do it because I don't think we're going to get them. But Duke, I think you should be ashamed of yourself
Oh,
I guess so.
because a
Go ahead.
giant soldier ant is from
Skyrim.
the Fallout.
Oh, Fallout.
Fallout.
Oh, right. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it is. You're right. I was having a technical difficulty, which may still be
damn.
happening, by the way, in case anyone's curious. But yeah, my bad. I should have known.
Spider ant is from the Borderlands series, so I got them wrong. I knew that
Well,
one of them
you're
probably
close.
was. So I was close.
Yeah.
And bloated ant, which I've not come across, but I'm guessing there's one in there, is from Elden Ring. From Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There are
Okay.
ant-like creatures in one's human, so for the record.
Now
it could've
you
been that.
both, can I just say, should know the answer to the next question.
Well, I should know a lot of things that I don't.
No, you'll definitely know it. I'll be amazed if you both don't know the answer to this.
Okay.
Which of these ships that disappeared is heavily mentioned in Half-Life? Which of these ships? Is it
Area
A?
51 ship?
Is it A, Jackdaw? Is it B, Ice Runner? Is it C, Rusalka? Or is it D, Borealis?
Well, the fact that you pulled a massive face after Borealis, I'm gonna say.
Just saying. Just saying.
I'm gonna say Borealis.
Yeah, it totally is. But you should know this because it's also in Portal 2. There's a big, massive bit of Portal 2 in a secret bit at the back where you come across it, where you come across like a reference to the Borealis. So it's a huge part of the Portal series as well.
It's been
can't
13.
believe
It's been 13
I don't
years.
care. You two are rubbish.
13 years.
Okay.
So
I'm
Borealis.
really worried what other people think about my knowledge of the Borealis.
Jackdaw, I think, is that Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
No idea.
I
could
don't
be.
know. I don't know why, but I feel like that's Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Okay, fair enough.
Ice Runner.
Let's go with that.
Ice Runner, I have no idea. Have you any ideas of Ice Runner?
I think, no, I know what the Ice Runner is. That's
Oh.
from Skyrim, baby.
There you go.
Because
and
you go attack it and you turn off the lighthouse and then it runs up on the shore and the people die, and then you go and you raid it, but then you get stabbed in the back literally by the dude who tries to
God.
hook you up.
Nice. Nice. And then the final one, Rusalka. Rusalka, so a ship called Rusalka.
Search the hell out of me.
I can't think what that might be from, to be fair.
Nope.
Couldn't tell
Rusalka.
you.
No idea, but I think we might have got some of these. Oh, God, I am so clever tonight. Yeah, so A, Jackdaw is indeed from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the ship of
Oh.
Edward
Look at you.
Edway. Look at me. Ice Runner, well done, Duke, is indeed from Skyrim, part
Look
of the
at me.
Lights Out quest, where the Dragons put the lights out on the Solitude Lighthouse and the ship runs aground. Oh, you see, I've never played it, so that's why I don't know it. Rusalka is from Call of Duty Black Ops. So the Rusalka is a Soviet spy ship. It is key component to Project Nova, in which it acts as the station from which number sequences are broadcast to activate the sleeper agents across the United States. And finally, Borealis is dead, of course, from Half-Life. Borealis, former United States Coast Guard Healy-class icebreaker that was later acquired by Aperture Science. Aperture used the ship to work on a massive project for a competing bid against Black Mesa over a Defense Logistics Agency contract for the effective FS2 solution. Although events surrounding the ship are highly classified, it is known that it disappeared in its entirety during testing and development. And it was meant to be part of Half-Life 3 as well, as in a little...
I remember seeing a boat in the concept art of Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
It was all
Yeah, so it's
snowy
meant
and shit.
Yeah, so it's meant to be in there as well. Final question, 5 and 5. Which of these is a mission in Half-Life?
Jesus Christ.
Project Nova, Nova Garon, Nova No Problem, Nova Prospect.
I was just about to say, oh, I recognise Nova, so it must be Project
It's
Nova.
in Nova.
And then they all have
Yeah.
Nova in it.
Of course, it's Nova Prospect. Just to put you out your
Yes.
misery there, guys.
Of course.
Nova Prospect is the
Of course,
it's the town where you get, or the place you get to at the end of Half-Life 2. So Nova Prospect.
The end?
I think it's the final level,
Okay.
Nova Prospect. So it's where the big tower is.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
It's where the big tower at the end.
Yeah.
So what are the
So
other ones then?
I have not a clue. I've never heard of either of those. Nova, no problem. I don't know.
Project-
I'm
Project-
impressed.
Project Nova sounds familiar, but I thought that was the
That'll be
Half-Life
something in I reckon that's in a Call of Duty game.
It's in a different video game.
It feels like Call of Duty. I'm amazed he's found 3 other answers with Nova in the title. That's
I know,
impressive.
right?
Bloody
Yeah.
impressive.
These are always
Nova,
impressive.
Nova Garon. That sounds French, but I can't think what that would be.
Garon?
Qu'est-ce que c'est le Nova Garon?
No idea.
No idea.
I'm
gonna
doing
go
very bad. I'm very bad
Yeah,
this
yeah.
week.
Nova Garon, I'm gonna go. I think that's an Assassin's Creed game, but I don't know which one. I'm gonna go with that.
Nova Garon.
Nova, no problem. though. What the fuck? What the hell? Don't know. Okay, let's go to the answers because I don't
No
think we're
idea.
gonna get any
No.
of these. Project Nova is indeed Call of Duty Black Ops. So there you go. I think I mentioned Call of Duty for that. There you go. That was just a sheer guess.
He didn't say Blops, though.
Cool.
I didn't know which one.
Yeah.
I didn't know which one, but I said it feels like a Call of Duty mission. Extract Steiner and destroy the ship containing Nova 6. Nova Garon. Oh, you see, I've not played this yet, so that's why I didn't know it. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Locate the traitor in the Imperial base on the galaxy. So there you go. That's what that is. Nova, no problem, is Borderlands pre-sequel.
I
for
don't
this
think
mission-
I don't think anybody played that.
Yeah, no,
I know, right?
exactly. For this mission, you need to equip the Nova Shield they're given to you during the quest. And Nova Prospect is the prisoner. Oh no, it's a prison.
It's the prison, Stu.
The bloody prison. I love the prison level as well.
I
I
hate
should
the
have known
prison
that.
area. I hate
I love the prison level.
setting up all the turrets. Nah.
Yeah. It's been renovated by the Combine to store human prisoners and convert them into stalkers. Hope you enjoyed that. I loved it. And the fact that I did well, and I proved I am
That's
a
what I like
Half-Life
about you,
2
Stu.
super-
Humble.
I know. Just
Hold
saying.
up, sit
Well,
down.
Brilliant. Thank you, Silent Gamer. Absolutely loved it. It's a great quiz. So
Yeah,
thank you very
good
much.
stuff.
Keep 'em
Thank
coming.
you.
Keep them coming. Loved it. Love
Keep 'em
these
coming.
quizzes. Love the quizzes.
I get an
Yeah.
email almost every day from about my
Yeah.
Esther expiration warning. Right? And they go, your Esther's going to run out. You won't be able to go to America. I'm like, I don't want to fucking go to America. I'm done.
I'm done. I've been all right.
But then renew it. I'm like, I don't want to.
Bloody bin. Right. In that case, we have got one speak pipe, and then we need to get the hell out of here.
We got a speak pipe, people. Here it comes.
Speak pipe! It's the way to leave a message for us.
Okay. So, yeah, here we go. It's from Saint Diesel, and here it comes.
Hey, Veteran Gamers, it's Saint Diesel back again. Today I wanted to talk about artificial intelligence, or AI. And there's been a lot of press recently around AI to do with creation of games and creation of content online. Of course, there's the deepfake websites where people who look like famous celebrities or famous people, and words seem to get put in their mouth. And people are talking about AI maybe destroying the world at some point. And I'm not going to say that's impossible, but it seems very unlikely.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, are you in any way worried about AI? Just even to do with people getting laid off, maybe jobs getting replaced by computers and AI, which of course has been happening for probably 60, 70 years now in some regards. I know the computer system we use at work has been around since 1975 when it originally started, so that's close to 50 years now. So question for you today, are you worried about AI and the future of AI? Do you think there's any danger to mankind? Do you think we should be putting some sort of safeguards on the way AI is used? And do you think AI is something that we should encourage in video games? Or do you think it's something where we should use people to create video games, and AI is maybe something that should be relegated to the background? I'm just interested in your thoughts on that. So until next time.
Well, I already know when the robots take over that I'm going to be okay.
Oh, yeah? When's that?
I don't know.
You know you're going to be okay?
I'm going to be okay.
Make sure they have good videos?
No, yeah, I'm not, because I was in Nottingham this week. Stu? Nottingham?
Oh, yeah. Nottingham, know it well.
Very good place to get shot, Nottingham. Anyway, I was there, and I was working at a very popular high street distribution centre. You know, not Amazon, but you know those big warehouses where the people are picking and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just call it not shoes, Stu.
Yeah.
Not shoes, but like a sort of pharmacy that would sound something like shoes. Like
right, okay, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I didn't tell you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Right,
You
so I was filming
you never
there.
mentioned the word boots.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say boots.
You never said
so
boots.
I was working at Boots, and then and so I was in this big distribution center. It's like huge, this massive building. You can't see the end of it, right? And there's all these people, probably underpaid, picking all this stuff. And then they had a little thing. Half of it was robots picking stuff, right? Robots doing all the work, getting it, putting it in packages, and everybody was like, "Film these because these are the best thing in the warehouse." And one robot come up to me, and I just tapped it to say, "Oh, you've got to go that way." So when they take over, that robot will remember me, and he'll go, "Hey, leave that guy alone.
He is a good one.
He's a good one.
He is the good one.
Right.
Put him in the pit with the other good ones." You know. So I'm okay. No, I don't really think I'm not concerned about it because I mean it will reduce jobs. I think that's inevitable. But I am a man that has seen automation in many different factories, and let me tell you, they are very good at breaking down these automated factories. So it still does require people to use them. But
human intervention.
It does. But also, I think. I feel like the creating images with AI has got old very quickly, and people that use them are basically boomers making Jesus images on Facebook, and that has become quickly a thing. It's like, oh my god, you're using AI images. That's such a boomer thing, you know, whatever. So I feel like, and I see businesses using them, and they just look awful. So I think like as our eyes get trained to them a little bit more. I don't really. I see the AI images as a bit of a fad. Obviously, they'll get better, and also I've looked at
that's the
AI,
thing.
AI video.
They're learning.
Yeah, AI video is impressive, very good, and I think with AI video, obviously that's a threat to my business. But I think that it's not a threat to my business actually, because I have to film things that in real life, you know, because that's what people like. People have something that they want to film, they get me, and then I film it. So really, iPhones is more of a threat to me than an AI. But it's what it is a threat to is stock images. So websites that provide stock images. So instead, because usually you pay a subscription to something like Shutterstock, I want two people juggling cats or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you've got some stock images of that, and videos of that. But now you can just go into AI and go, oh, I want a cat like breathing fire, and it'll just generate it. So it's more dangerous for them to do that. So yeah, it's certain business. It's like the pandemic for me. Some businesses will prosper, some businesses will fail, and some businesses will stay the same. And it's a bit of a lottery.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I was going to mention, nothing to do. It is kind of to do, but nothing to do with this. So during the European Cup, during the European Cup, someone was doing a AI generated Gareth Southgate saying what he really thought.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious, and it was realistic, and it's like, it's so impressive, and it sounded exactly like him, and the inflections were the same, but the stuff coming out of his mouth, not a chance he would ever say any of that stuff. Yeah, it was just like, what did he say? One of them was, oh yeah, when Bellingham made that goal, I jizzed in my pants and stuff like that. You know, it was just like fully ridiculous stuff, but it was very, very funny and well done.
What's interesting about AI content online is that you have to declare it now. So if you're on TikTok, you have to declare that if you
you could clearly tell it wasn't really
I know, but you can clearly tell, but it's getting dangerous. So on YouTube
is getting dangerous.
YouTube are now stopping videos that imitate celebrities' look and image. So if I made a Donald Trump video saying that, you know, like, I don't know, just saying really stupid things, I could get taken down for it in a strike.
Yeah, sure. I'll be honest though, I do think Gareth probably wasn't that bothered, because that's probably what he was actually thinking.
Yeah, probably. The problem is social media outlets like Twitter, where there's no restrictions, which is basically an awful place to be anyway.
Well, these may well have been on Twitter. They might not have been on
that's
like
been true about
TikTok
Twitter
or whatever. It might have been on Twitter. Yeah. But it was hilarious.
And that goes along with what I am concerned about with AI. Like, it's so much easier than it's ever been before for my students to generate a piece of writing with a computer that they had nothing to do with and turn it in, and it's impossible for me to tell. Once upon a time, if a student turned in something that was suspicious,
if it's too good for them to do, if you think, I don't think they'd be capable of this.
But that's the thing, is that first of all, ChatGPT is getting to the point where they can dumb it down and make it less perfect, so that it's harder for teachers to tell. But no, you're right. Like, what I'm going to have to do next year is have everybody write something at the beginning of the year by hand, so I know what their baseline is, and then I can sort of tell, you know, is this person. But once upon a time, if a student turned in something that was suspiciously good, I could like do a Google search and I'd probably find it. Whereas now there's no hope of that. I just have you know, and then it becomes my word versus the kid's word. And sometimes the kid will fess up and admit it, but in other cases, the kid will just be like, no, my mom helped me with it or whatever. And it's like, I don't believe that, but I can't prove it. So what are we going to do now?
You see, I think where it gets more scary. I mean, that's annoying for you, and those kids aren't really learning anything. So that's a problem.
They don't care. They want the grade. And I need to hold the line on like intellectual honesty.
But I think where it gets more scary is if you for instance, upset somebody and they want to be vindictive and get back at you, and they create an AI image of you saying some bad shit or some stuff and make it look
porn is a real problem.
Make it look all grainy, and you could ruin someone's whole life, career, and everything.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where it's more scary.
Oh, totally. And AI having the capacity to like influence people for elections and help people like, you know, Bolsonaro or, you know, fucking Le Pen in France. Like, if these people can use AI to like sway a lot of, you know, voters who aren't protecting themselves from, you know, disinformation campaigns, that's where the other nightmare comes in. However,
it is a super
bring it
useful
back to
tool.
video games,
It's a very useful tool, though.
Can I just step away from a second?
Of course.
I forgot to take my pills. How long
Take your pills.
Oh my God, take your pills. Jeez, come on. Here's the thing that I would like to see right now, like in Skyrim, you finish the Drug Brotherhood quest line, and then there are these Radiant quests that are like, we have some missions for you, and it's basically they just pick an NPC at random and you go and kill them, and that's it. I'm looking forward to procedurally generated Radiant quests that are not the main storyline, but are still generated by AI and therefore have some variety to them.
Yeah.
But it's infinitely repeatable. You know what I mean?
There's a game.
Because
there's a game coming out like that, by the way.
Is there really? Okay.
Because
I don't want it to. I don't want them to actually replace game developers or have an entire game that's done by AI. But I do think it'll be cool to have some parts of the game that'll just be
yeah, like
the Radiant quests are now.
When you have that you've seen those things where they talk to an AI like they're talking to a person and they respond like they're a person. Like that in a video game is like the dream, isn't it? Like that's amazing.
That is the dream.
So, but like there are games coming out now where like they basically AI the mission quest, or like there's ingredients there like this and this has to happen, but how you get there is sort of up to AI. Right. So there's ways there's ways to do it.
And the other thing I'm looking forward to, and I don't know how much AI will have to do with this, but I mean probably. You type your name in and then you tell the game how to pronounce it and it just says your name instead of right now, like in Fallout 4, when you're with the railroad, you pick a nickname, right? And there's like 6 options for your nickname or however many. And then they just call you, I always chose the professor. So they're always like, hey, professor, what's going on? It'll be really cool if you can type in, Duke Scath, and then you use the phonetics to be like, here's how you pronounce Duke Scath. And then the game will say like, hey, Duke Scath, or hey, Duke, like, what's going on? That'll be really cool to have that. It's a minor aesthetic thing, but I think it will be kind of
I'd be keen to make a 10-minute episode of this show because there is enough, and you actually don't need that much sample audio, but you can build to build the 10-minute show of us. Yeah, and what's scary is I saw on TikTok somebody made a stand-up comedy of George Carlin, but obviously it's new.
Yeah, I heard about that. That sucks. Fuck that shit,
and the weird
don't
thing
be mutilating corpses.
The weird thing is like it was funny as well. Like it was actually. Like,
I'm sure it is because Carlin was a funny guy. You take his ingredients and mix them back up.
I'd love it just to hear like a 10-minute episode of like this show.
Sure. If everybody's giving their consent, that's one thing. Yeah. But this is the thing that's happening actually now is there are companies that are, y'all see the Black Mirror episode where the woman loses her husband and then her friend is like, hey, there's this service, they'll send you emails as your departed loved one. Yeah. And then it becomes, you could have a voice chat and then they send her this box of stuff she puts in the tub and then 2 days later he gets up out of the tub. Yeah. And it's fucked up. There are companies doing this now. Full confession though, my friend Garrett, who passed in November, like if I could talk to him on the phone, I don't know that I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like there's a part of me that thinks that could be kind of cool. Yeah. Same with my dad.
Well, Kim Kardashian got a message off her dad, didn't he? He bought it for her birthday. This AI generated holographic image of him talking to her.
Yeah,
so and it's like
so sad. So sad.
There need to, but I mean, whether people are into that or not, like as much as there are some interesting possibilities, but we need guardrails, we need regulation, we need restrictions, we need consent of the person. Like without those things, it just becomes a nightmare all around.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's a weird.
It's a useful tool though. Like I used it today at work for. So basically, I might be going to Northern Ireland for work, right? So we've never been on a plane with our equipment. So so in terms of insurance, I'm not sure if the video equipment and all the expensive equipment that we're going to take over is insured. So I check our business insurance and all sort of stuff, and then I type into the ChatGPT and I say, hey, what are some of the things I need to consider about working in videography and photography, traveling from England to Northern Ireland, and what insurance companies can I use? And he spat out 3 insurance companies. He gave me a lot of things to do, like list all the items, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. And I looked at the websites that it recommended, and I was like, these are fantastic websites, right? So you can't deny how useful that was for me to just go, "Oh, you know what, I just need to ask somebody. I'll just ask AI. And it gave me the answer that I wanted. It's brilliant. It was brilliant.
Now, you see, Nezzy, John Nezzy,
Yeah.
he's a computer programmer for a job. And he uses Chat GTP Professional all the time to write programs for him.
Simplify, instead of having to learn how to do a subroutine, you just
he tells it what to do, and then he does it, and then he just checks it to make sure it works, and he does what he wants it to do, and then he's like,
that's the thing, is that like any tool, it can make the lives of workers better, or it can eliminate the need for workers, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, for instance, people who transcribe audio, right?
Yeah.
They're going to lose their jobs.
Yeah, that's gone. That's
AI
already
is getting better and better.
That's already gone.
Sure. And that's not I don't think that's a bad thing, because who really wants that job, right? Yeah. I spoke for an hour. I'll give you $50 if you write down everything I said for an hour. Fuck that shit.
We used a website called rev.com, and that was what they did. Yeah. But really, you're paying somebody in the Philippines to listen to this. And,
of course.
And they translate it. But now Premiere Pro just does it for free. So
Right. So the question is, are we as a society going to take the wealth that these machines are generating and share it with each other? Or are we going to say the people who own the robots get to have all the wealth? Because Stephen Hawking laid this out and said, we need to do that first thing of sharing the wealth. And right now, that's not what we're doing. And that's going to end up with even more wealth inequality, which sucks.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. Whoever invents it or owns
it depends on what we demand. It depends on what we say is acceptable. If we allow there to be homelessness, there will be homelessness. If we say we have enough wealth to give everybody a home, we'll give everybody a home. Yeah. Maybe we could talk about it after the show.
I'd love for all that stuff to be true, Duke, but it never will be.
Me too. High five.
It never will be, sadly.
Well, they said East Timor would never be free, and they were wrong. So
well, sometimes there are little victories, but the big ones tend not to happen much. Right, okay. On that note, we need to do some shout outs and get the hell out of here. So, Duke, off you go.
Yeah, it's time for a shout out.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Where's my phone? I got it all here. What's up there, Steppy? Right. I will shout out everybody who's listening live and everybody who wrote in. Everybody who posted lovely things on my TEDx Talk YouTube page. Is very nice for people. I didn't even realize people were doing this. I don't want to just run off the list of names, but I do appreciate everybody who posted very nice things on there about that. Did I shout out Natural MC last week? I can't remember if I had this down before. So once upon a time, we had this dude who showed up in one of our live shows, I think, somewhere anyway, in the chat. And he was like, hey, I'm a rapper. Check out my new album. And like, he didn't just come in to spam the link. Like, he was like, I've been listening for a while and I appreciate the show. And, whatever, if you like that, maybe send an email or something. Anyway. So I had gotten his album, and this was back, I bought it on iTunes. And I was recently listening to a mix of stuff from iTunes because I usually listen to Spotify. But anyway, his song, Soft as Fur, came up. It's a good song. If anybody out there likes hip hop, go check out Natural MC. And if Natural MC is still listening somehow, shout out to him because it's a good song. Shout out to Ricey for helping me watch the Euro Cup final. There was a sample from Fox Sports, but it was going to run out after like 45 minutes. So I'm like, I guess I get to see the first half. And he was like, don't even trip. I got you, fam. And he hooked me up. It was a good link. Thank you very much. Shout out to the Duchess. Shout out to everybody who wrote in. Why can I never remember Jason Gallagher and the person who sent the quiz? I can never remember his name.
Silent Gamer. No
Silent
name.
Gamer. Thank you. Duh.
Gamer.
Right. And Derek, of course, St. Diesel for sending in the speak pipes and the interesting questions. And yeah, that's it. Who's next?
There you go. Ginny.
Well, I'm going to shout out Mecha Monkey.
All right.
Okay. Because I shouted out, remember that Samosa Boy shop?
Oh, that's right. About? Yeah.
And then in the Discord, he posted a selfie. And the guy who works in Samosa Boy, his name is Zane. Shout out to Zane. He posted a selfie of him at the shop with my mate Zane. Well, he's not my mate, but he's my mate now. And I'm like, right, well, there you go. So somebody went to the shop, and then I was at a food festival on yesterday at Sunday, and I saw Samosa Boy was there because he's got a little shop on the street, but he was at the food festival as well. And I said, oh, do you remember this guy taking a selfie? And he was like, yeah, are you the guy with the podcast? So I was like, yeah, that's me. And he was like, cause I didn't even remember. And like, we've been there a couple of times with my dad and stuff. So I was like, yeah, my dad came to the shop. Remember when we get to it? So thank you to Mecha Monkey for going. I'm glad you enjoyed it. He bought 3 samosas that were savoury and then 1 dessert samosa. So they do dessert samosas. That's the thing they do, like a Biscoff. Biscuit samosa, Oreo samosa.
It sounds good. I mean, it
Nutella
sounds
samosa.
great. I love
Stu,
a samosa.
If you're down, I'll get you.
I know.
I'll
You'll
get
have to
you
go.
one.
You have to go. Have to go.
Lovely bloke. So shout out to him. Thank you for supporting Samosa Boy. But that shop is.
So wait, Chinny, does that mean that the samosa, which is an Indian food, the dessert form, you like that Indian dessert?
But it's not traditional Indian dessert, is it?
Wow, it's got a good question. It's a good question, though. It's a good question.
If I went to an Indian dessert shop, there
I
wouldn't
know,
be
I know,
a dessert samosa.
You say, I want some sweets. They wouldn't go, here's a samosa dessert.
I would go next door to the spa and get
Here's
some
some
sweets
brightly
from there.
colored thing that is way too sugary.
But the problem is, Mecha Monkey, is that shop is dangerously close to my house. So are you just trying to figure out where I live here? Are you trying to...
I think that's it. He's going to get one of those people who knows how to read the map, like Google Maps, and just find out.
If I look out my window, am I going to see you
sitting there watching?
I'm only joking.
What are you doing? Take your pants off.
Wow.
I'm only joking, Mecha Monkey. Thank you very much for going. I really enjoyed seeing you there. That was really cool. So thank you very much. Shout out to him.
I'm going to shout out
seeing you in the bushes outside my house.
To Burger Daddy in the chat because he's just come in the chat and gone, nice to see you're still going. Could be a woman, I guess. Could be a woman, but he's called Daddy.
It could just be a bot too. Just goes into some random YouTube.
No, it says
Glad
nice,
to see you're
still going. But does that mean he's the long time listener and's like, or listened a while back and was like, oh, he's still doing it?
Or he goes into every person streaming and just puts that in.
Maybe.
Or bloody hell,
say something about what we've done in the past.
I came
to
in
let
2
us
hours.
know that you've been listening.
I came in 2 hours ago and you're still going.
Still going. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Maybe.
So who knows? Context.
Long time podcast. I'm just playing with you, Burger Daddy. That's cool. Thank you for listening. But you could say that even if you weren't listening. I'm skeptical. I'm cynical. I need proof that you've been listening for a long time.
I like his name.
He's never watched on YouTube. Never watched on YouTube.
I like his name though. Two Burger Daddy. Like yeah.
I like that.
2 burgers.
I like that.
You know.
Oh, Sean's in. Sean Thiel's in the chat.
They're all here.
As soon as we're about to wrap it up, everybody comes
Australia.
Also, use the right form of your Burger Daddy. All right, Stu, do you have any shout-outs?
To Burger Daddy. Yeah, to Burger Daddy. I just shouted him out.
Daddy? Okay.
Sean Thiel. We'll shout him out, seeing as he's just arrived in the chat as we're finishing the
Anybody else who comes in the next 5 seconds?
And I'm going to shout out Gareth Southgate for being such a fucking crap manager. There you go. How about that?
Yeah, took us to the final twice in the Euros, and he's such a crap manager.
He's terrible.
Piece of shit.
He did more than any other England manager has ever done in the last 20 years, and he's crap.
Clinch the win, Chinny.
Yeah, but what you're not saying is boring. It's just boring.
Well, he missed that in 90. Was it Euro 96 where he missed that penalty and they lost
he
it.
did that as well.
Yeah.
He did that as well.
Bless him.
No, it isn't.
No, Burger Daddy. It's not Monday 9 p.m. It's usually 8:30 on Sunday.
But because of the football, we moved it.
He had to have his heart broken. So.
I'm heartbroken because they didn't win. Oh.
Right, are we done?
I think we're done.
Cool.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Thank you very much, love.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
I'm just going to keep playing sound clips and have to do it again.
Is today's hectic lifestyle making you tense and impatient?
Shut up and get to the point!
Two Burger Daddy loves you, Duke. He says, love you, Duke.
And I love you too, Burger Daddy. Thank you.
Duke. Love you too, Duke. We all love Duke. In our own ways.
Some of us love him more than others.
In our own little ways. You know. Right, guys. I guess it's time to go.
I guess it's time to go. My headbuds kept going low battery, low battery. I was like, oh no, it's gonna run out. I went and got my little dangly wire thing, but then it cut out because I switched the input.
Oh no!
So I'm gonna have to go take some of the audio from YouTube, but I got most of the show. I think it's just these are older headbuds, so they only have a little bit of juice. So at some point during the show, it'll go battery low, and I switched the one out for the other. But for whatever reason, they were both doing battery low. I was like, ah. And then I was like, I'll use my Logitech headset, which is the USB headset, but I hadn't charged it. So it starts flashing red light. I'm like, I don't have that pair of headphones.
Sounds like a troublesome evening for you.
It turned out okay. I guess the lesson is when the headbuds go battery low, they're lying.
Yeah.
Because this is fine still. So just ignore it. It's like there's a sign near us that has like, I don't know if y'all have this, but it's like speed limit 25. As soon as you go 26, it starts, it says your speed, like it measures your speed, and it starts flashing 26, 26. I'm like, if I'm going 1 mile over the limit and you start flashing at me, that's a great way to get me to ignore the sign.
Yeah. Sometimes you get in over here, I don't know if you get them over there, but you get signs that like do little angry faces. Or little sad faces if you're going over the
It'll
speed
say
limit.
Slow down. I'm like, fuck you, slow down.
And then when you go in the speed limit, you'll get a little smiley face. I'm like, you fuck off.
Oh, wow. See, that's that next level emoji type stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it works. Like those things, it does hit me in sense of like, I don't want the sign to be mad at me. And then I'm like, why am I worried if the sign is mad at me?
And if you go 16 miles an hour over the speed limit, it does a swastika sign. I don't know why.
You're a Nazi because you like to go fat. What?
It's really weird.
That makes no sense.
I feel sorry for the swastika,
Well, it started out as a cool thing from India, and
it was like a symbol of like India and
4 winds.
And I feel sorry for people for the name Adolf. Do you know what I mean? Like anybody called Adolf, I feel sorry.
Eddie Izzard had a thing about that. Yeah,
it's such a shame, isn't it? Because Joseph
he said that the name Hitler too. Like, try Mrs. Hitler's lovely jam. Like that's out the window now.
So Joseph Stalin, he never, people are still called Joseph.
That's true.
Adolf
is just too unique.
Chairman Mao, to be fair, you don't get many chairmen.
That's true. Funny that maybe I should name my kid Chairman.
Yeah.
Did you hear Trevor? Did you ever read Trevor Noah's book or listen to the audiobook?
No.
It's a very funny book.
I don't
There's a section where he
what
talks.
I think about Trevor Noah. I'm not sure about him, to be honest.
I think he's funny. I don't think he was the best interviewer in the world, but that's a separate matter. Anyway, there's a part in his memoir where he talks about this dance crew he was a part of, and there was the best dancer in his crew. This is when he was a late teenager. Was a guy named Hitler, and he explains that in South Africa, a lot of people don't know Hitler. Like they just know that Hitler was a guy who defeated a lot of white people in battle. So they think of him as like a tough person. So if you want your kid to be tough, you just might name him Hitler, because they would say he has this whole thing about like in South Africa, people, a lot of people use Hitler in Europe to talk about like history's greatest monster. Well, in South Africa, that might be Cecil Rhodes or, like the Leopold in the Congo or whatever. Right? It's all dependent on where you are in terms of who's your greatest monster. Anyway, so there's this guy Hitler. They never really knew what the name meant when they were growing up because the education system wasn't really telling them about world history. So anyway, the point is they had this dance crew and he was the greatest dancer of them all. And so when he started busting his moves, they would all be like doing the hip hop thing. Go Hitler, go Hitler. Yeah. At one point they get hired at this Jewish school and they're all standing around doing a one-armed version of it. And they're going, go Hitler, go Hitler.
Wow.
While he's dancing, and the people obviously are like, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah. And Trevor can't figure out why she's mad. So he starts yelling back at her, assuming she's being racist. And he goes, guess what, lady? You can't stop us now. Nelson Mandela says we get to do this.
Wow.
And she's just like, what? So it's really funny. And the follow-up to that is when I was doing that book with my students one time, and they're dancing to the Red Man song, Let's Get Dirty. I don't know if you've heard that song, but it's a great dance song.
It's a good song.
Yeah. So when we do it in my class, we're reading it out loud. I'm reading it out loud because the students never want to read aloud. But I put on this Red Man song, and so we're playing the song, and we're I'm reading the text out, and then we get to the part where it's like Go Hitler, and of course I'm doing it in time with the music, and I'm doing the Go Hitler, and my assistant principal walked in one time.
Wow.
He was like,
I've got to say, dude, not appropriate.
Well, the question is, what's going on? What's the context? And then I had to explain, like, well, you
Yeah,
see,
but Miguel,
in the
in
book-
any context, it's probably not appropriate.
Well, but there's a reason why it's happening in the book. Like it's
the story, isn't it?
And he walks the reader very carefully through it all. So all the context I just gave you, he's giving the reader the context. So out of context, it seems like he's being horrible and white supremacist, but obviously he's not. So the assistant principal ended up thinking it was mostly just funny, and I explained it and told him what was going on and all this stuff, and so besides, they know that I made the class about hip hop, and I make the anti-racist perspective a very important part of everything I do. So he gave me the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
Do you think they said that to him when he was in the bunker? When everything was going well, and they was like, "Yeah, go Hitler, go Hitler, you're smashing it, you're smashing it, mate, you're smashing it." Am I really?
You're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great.
No, I'm not. That's why that video clip exists. And
Yeah.
Don't tell me I'm smashing it.
No, no, you know what? You're too negative, Hitler.
You're just focused on the fact that all the armies are about to kill you. You should really
Look at
focus on the
Poland.
good
That
things
went
you did
really
for
well.
Germany.
The Poland stuff went really well.
You got rid of so many Jews.
You got so many. You did so well.
You can't fixate on the Jews you didn't kill, Hitler.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
fixate on the
You're too
Jews
hard
you
on
didn't
yourself.
Exterminate.
You're too hard. We did loads.
That's the title of the show, by the way. Focus on the Jews you exterminate.
No. I've already got a title. I've already got a title.
I'm sure it isn't that. Right,
the
on that note,
title-
I'm gonna go.
The title of the show is.
All right, have a good week, Stu.
It's giving Hideo Kojima. That's the title of the show.
All right,
It's
okay.
giving Hideo Kojima. Okay,
I
cool.
like that. Okie dokie, guys. I will speak to you both
right.
next week. I was going to say have a good rest of your weekend, but it isn't anymore. It's
No.
Monday.
Well, that's right.
Have a good rest of your week.
Have a good Hitler.
Yeah.
Have a good little. Have a good Hitler. Radio, night, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.